started. So, hello and welcome everyone. If you're watching on YouTube, I really appreciate it. Those of you here in the Twitch chat this early on, I really appreciate you coming and stopping by. SCG Columbus is this weekend, and I am still unsure what to play. And so I was originally planning on streaming a bunch of donation deck lists today because I still have to catch up on those a little bit. But in favor of trying to get some testing in for the Open this weekend, I'm going to be playing Arclight Phoenix in Modern. Ross, in his article that he wrote today and went up on Premium, I guess he didn't write it today, talked a little bit more about his updated version of Izzet Phoenix. I recommend checking it out. He has a lot to say about the modern metagame that had a pretty heavy impact on some of my decisions and my approach to the format this weekend. So there's a lot of helpful information in that. You're going to get the deck list here. I mean, this is obviously the list I'm playing. This is the list from that article, but there's a lot more that's worth reading, so I recommend checking that out. There you go, SCG, there's your plug. But let's go ahead and break it down a little bit. I'll mention a couple of the changes he mentioned in the article, like notably the one that sticks out is Mutagenic Growth. We can talk about that, talk a little bit about the deck's position, and, you know, just, like, there's a lot of hype around this deck right now, and I've talked to multiple people that say, basically, KCI is the best deck. This deck is, like, right there at second. It has a good matchup against everything, but specifically KCI. So, hey, what's going on, Dylan? Ooh, Daddy is online. Yes, sir. There's my my good friend and teammate for this weekend, Dylan Hand. Joined Team Bacub recently. Congrats to you. Anyways, let's get started on breaking the deck down. The mana base makes a lot of sense. It's pretty clean. 6 fetch lands, 3 basic islands, 2 basic mountains. Your deck has more blue than red. You can see that split here. Even with this creature, I mean, you also have Manamorphose to make, like, whatever mana you want. So your mana is just always great. 3 Steam Vents, probably what you're fetching most of the time, unless you're playing against, like, Burn or whatever, something super aggressive. The other Phoenix deck is also a good example of where you're probably fetching basics a little more often. And the best blue-red dual lands, Volcanic Island, a.k.a. Spirebluff Canal. Volcanic Island that can't be fetched. But anyways, super clean. Nothing super big brain here. Just the next 2 best blue fetches for representing decks with cantrips. So, like, you know, you can kind of represent Jeskai or Grixis Shadow playing cantrips off of the Steam Vents, off either of those fetch lands. So nothing big brain there. 18 lands makes a lot of sense. You have a bunch of cantrips. In Ross's article, I really like that we've cleaned up the cantrip suite a lot. Like, there was a point in time which there was like 2 Thought Scours in this deck, which I think was utter nonsense. And just like odd numbers of like the rest of the cards too. I really like this list on like the surface. Like, if you just glance at it, there's a lot of 4-ofs. And I like that a lot when looking at deck lists, because that usually means the deck list is pretty tuned. When there's a bunch of like 2s and like 3s and like very, very few 4s, that usually means the deck is like still in its tuning process and like hasn't really been figured out. Like, it's close to optimum, but isn't actually. KCI matchup is fine post board. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. And I'm not sure that it's fine post board, like in our current configuration, but it definitely gets better. Like, I think we get better after board than they do, but we'll talk about that here in a second. What's going on, H-Rons, by the way? Harrison Rollins, not Lane Fox. This should race KCI better. Yeah, I think that's some of the changes will help race KCI better. Continue on. We got the 4 lightning bolts, 2 lightning axe. That's just something that Ross has been doing for a long time. He likes lightning axe. I was talking a little bit before we actually got started how lightning axe is a little weird to me in that you're relying on a piece of your removal to be one of your discard outlets for Phoenix. So you basically are relying on them having a creature and you wanting to kill it in order to like actually get your Phoenix in the graveyard, which seems like an awkward like anti-synergy, if you will. But the fact it's 1 mana and like is a discard outlet and is like one of the like highest damage pieces of red removal means that it's probably just good enough. Still not sure if it should be like a main deck card or whatever, but I would trust Ross far more than my like initial opinion of what looks weird, but that is something that sticks out to me. Faithless Looting, I mean, let's be honest, the reason to play the deck, the actual good discard outlet for Phoenix, also 1 mana for all your stuff. I mean, it just does it all. This card you can play in flashback as 2 spells. It can represent 2 spells for Thing in the Ice. That's just nuts. So, we are a great Faithless Looting deck, which is a good place to start in Modern. Dylan Hand's article, there's another plug, talks about that. I recommend checking out some of his work, talking about what you should be doing in Modern. Last but not least, well, I guess second to last, we got the creatures. Once again, we've cleaned these up. Like, there's no more Crackling Drakes in the main. Ross was talking about how Crackling Drake is good against the fair decks and good against Graveyard Hate, but there's not a ton of fair decks right now rolling around. There's a lot of, like, KCI, The Mirror, just, like, some creature decks. Burn's big. Shadow's kind of picking up, but, like, Crackling Drake's kind of clunky against that deck. Basically, just Crackling Drake's not really in a great spot, and like this deck, honestly, with 18 lands and all these cantrips, wants to kind of stop at 3 lands anyway and discard extras to Faithless Looting. So I think that it makes sense that we've moved Crackling Drakes to the sideboard alongside a Ral to just be like a clunky, control-ish kind of package that we can board into against fair decks. So I really like that we clean the creatures up. We have 4/4/4, 4 Monastery Swiftspear, just very good against like KCI, for instance, where it's just like helps put the pressure on early, and you can be interacting, like casting cantrips and still hitting them for a ton. Because like Thing in the Ice can be a little clunky against that deck. They don't have creatures to pick up, and so that's automatically going to make Thing in the Ice worse. And like it only hits for 7. So on average, like KCI is a hard matchup because it's going to be a turn faster than this deck anyway. And then your 4 Phoenix, I mean, namesake of the deck. It's just like the reason to be doing what we're doing here with all these cantrips and Faithless Looting and stuff. It's just very, very high ceiling graveyard engine that kind of gets to be its own graveyard engine without having to like make the deck kind of like super dependent on the graveyard. Like we're still very good against Graveyard Hate even without Crackling Drake, because Phoenix is still the only thing that really cares that much about like graveyard. And last but not least, these are separated because these are the free spells. Manamorphose technically isn't free, but you know, produces mana for itself, so I kind of count it as a free spell. So we have 8 free spells, and like all the numbers make a lot of sense when you see the free spells together. So we have a total of 8 free spells, and now we're like at this split with Gutshot and Mutagenic Growth. Ross quoted less creature decks because just Spirits is like not very good against this deck. And so it's on the decline because this deck's really popular. He quoted like playing less Gutshots makes sense at that point in time, because if Gutshot isn't like picking things off the table, it's just not very good. Whereas a good replacement is Mutagenic Growth, because in the mirror, it puts your Thing in the Ice to 6 toughness out of Lightning Axe range. Also, you know, is just good with Monastery Swiftspear, protects it from damage-based removal, while like also just being a very good aggressive card to be casting. You know, kind of represents more damage than a Gutshot if you have like a Monastery Swiftspear aggro down plan. And so like this kind of NASCAR is harder than Gutshot does. So if Gutshot's not shooting creatures, basically if Gutshot's shooting face, you should be playing Mutagenic Growth, and I think that just makes a lot of sense. So that about wraps up the main deck. I think it makes a lot of sense. Is this Scrub Central? Yeah, it's definitely Scrub Central. Puts the car in R for race mode. That's definitely true. So yeah, like I like this list a lot. This is a lot cleaner than a lot of the other Izzet Arclight decks that I've kind of had problems with the way they were built, and I'm really, really excited to give this a try. The sideboard still has a few of the nonsense cards that I'm not sure about. Like obviously one to stick out is this one. Ross himself mentioned he kind of just like put this in as like something to try during the Vegas Open, and it ended up being like really good. So he left it in. Still kind of like not sure. It's a 5-mana Planeswalker. It's hard to like, I don't know. It's hard to just be like, this is correct to put in my 18 land deck as this 5-mana Planeswalker against fair decks. I mean, I guess, but I'm not so sure. The Crackling Drakes in the sideboard, that's probably where they should have been to begin with. You can kind of board them in against decks that you know, especially people that you know are going to bring in Graveyard Hate against you, and you're just like, well, it might be good enough to slow me down, even though it's not really a hoser, and if we put this in our deck, it's just going to be completely irrelevant for the most part. So I really like that Crackling Drake's in our sideboard, and like we have these 3 cards for kind of the fair, like 2-for-1-ish matchups where we can kind of compete on their axis a little bit. Moving on, we got like a couple pieces of removal. We have 2 Abrades, can function as like shatters, obviously. Don't have to talk too much about this card, or just deal 3 damage to a creature. Comes in creature matchups, can shoot Aether Vials, which notably is something you do want to do against the creature decks a lot of the time, because Aether Vials is a good way to get around Thing in the Ice, which is the best card against creature decks. And so a lot of times you do want to be blowing up their Aether Vials to just make your Thing in the Ice better. And Rending Volley, which is like good in the mirror and good against spirits. So like, I think Ross quoted like Rending Volley can be the last spell you cast against spirits when trying to get your Phoenixes back. And a lot of times they're going to be waiting to crack their Mausoleum Wander until you play your last spell. And if the last spell is uncounterable, they just kind of get dookied. So that's pretty nice. Duking opponents always good. Alpine Moon, I don't know so much about this card. I guess big mana is hard for us. That's something that I think has been going around, that big mana decks like Tron, Valakut, Titan, just not great matchups for this deck, so it kind of makes sense to play a Hoser for big mana. So, I don't know. Card does, I mean, it does something pretty straightforward. It's like, you know, kind of the Pithing Needle, a land with red mana, I guess. Makes it a Penta land, but it doesn't do the thing anymore. So Tron lands it works against, obviously Valakut it works against, and I guess you just name, like, Telerio West or whatever. Major punch control. It doesn't work in hand, so maybe you don't. You name probably just like a bounce land. And Stone Rain them is my guess at this point in time. And so yeah, card makes sense. Let's move on to the counter spells, I guess. I want to get to those before we get to Surgical Extraction. Ceremonious Rejection makes a ton of sense. If KCI has a bad matchup, countering color spells, obviously good. Still has equity against Tron, so card's actually probably very good in our sideboard if we have a hard Tron matchup, because being able to hedge both Tron and KCI in the same sideboard card is really attractive. So it makes sense we have two of those. Spell Pierce can kind of come in the same roles, but is good in like a lot of other spots. I mean, basically any place where you're just trying to cast a lot of spells. So like against Control, for instance, they're trying to cast like a little more expensive spells. And I mean, I think this still comes against Tron, still comes against KCI, Storm, stuff like that. Like it has a little more equity than Rejection does, which is why we're not playing more Rejections, because Spell Pierce just like is a little more flexible and does generally about the same thing. And lastly, Dispel. I mean, this one just kind of like rounds out the 1 mana counter spell suite. A little better against Storm because they can pay for 2 a little more often, I think. Also a little better against, I don't know, just like random decks, like probably like Ad Nauseam. Maybe it's a little more justifiable against some Coco decks. I don't really know. I'd have to look at the sideboard guide. But I like that there's diversification here, because it means we can kind of tailor how many counterspells we are bringing in. Because we're probably only bringing in about 3 on average. So like being able to bring in like 2 Rejections and a Spell Pierce or whatever, and like, or like 2 Spell Pierces and a Dispel is like probably pretty nice. That's just my guess when I'm looking at how these counterspells are. I haven't actually like thoroughly read through the sideboard guide yet. I'm gonna do that during the games and try to figure out what we're supposed to be doing. So I really like this counterspell suite at first glance. I really like the flexibility of it, and pretty excited about that. Last but not least, Surgical Extraction. Probably the most overboarded card in the universe. However, it does get a little more equity in our deck, as it does in like Death Shadow decks. For Death Shadow because of the life loss. For us, because it's a spell that's free. So like, you know, it triggers this, and this. So it just like plays to our deck's game plan very well. So we are a very good Surgical Extraction deck. Even if you have to surgical something that's like nonsense, if it means getting back, you know, 3 Phoenixes and flipping your thing in the ice or whatever, you know, deal. So Surgical Extraction makes a lot of sense in our deck. It makes sense to play a lot of them. Also very good against KCI, still good against Dredge, which I'm not sure how the matchup is, but it seems like one that probably needs Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. And this is, I mean, easily the best piece. While obviously not hating on our own Arclight Phoenixes, we can't play something like Grafdigger's Cage or whatever for those reasons, because we have graveyard synergies, chat. It's just good deck building. Russ is a smart man. More at 11. All right, let's play some Magic. Let's play some Magic. Ready to get in the games. Anybody say anything intelligent? Thompson liked the mono red list. Bro, main deck Abrade over Lava Axe. I don't know about that one. Oh, I should click the right tab. Boop. Friendly Modern. Thank y'all for hanging out today. Oh, that's way too big. Join league. Hope everyone had wonderful holidays. I know I definitely did. I think this is my second stream since the holidays started. Ooh, I have 2 trophies. What's up, Austin Collins? Drake Sasser. I'm your biggest fan. Well, thank you, Austin. I appreciate your support. This deck does not have enough gut shots. I don't know. Apparently, gut shot's not very good because creature decks are on the decline. Uh-oh. I hear a train. I go back to school tomorrow, so can I get an F in the chat? You can get one from me, Austin. Let me tell you what. School's a big F in the chat. Big F. That's what I'm talking about. Train. Choo. St. Patrick's Day train. What's up, Tannen? How goes it? I just finished listening to most recent Grindcast episode. It was really good. I was really happy with the content. Super excited about North Market as well. Super excited about Columbus. Columbus is one of those, it's like a very reasonable driving distance for me. And like, I actually don't mind the city at all. I really like the city, so pretty excited about this weekend. So excited. What's up, Burley? How goes it? F in the chat for the grade Austin's gonna get in school. Aww. I need fear about this. It's a couple months from now. I'm running 4 mutagenics over it, though. I don't know about that. I don't know about 3 to 4 mutagenics. I like this split a lot. I couldn't stop laughing at the end of the episode. Oh my god, that was so funny. Brad's Tannin impression was flawless. Flawless. Chocolate over fruit. Raspberry or s'mores. Dude, raspberry not close. Raspberry's so good. Ooh, this is very interesting. I mean, this is an easy keep. Pretty sure we're supposed to Faithless Looting on one. Ooh, Aether Vial. We were just talking about how there's less creature decks. Fortunately, we have the gut shot, but just feel pretty dumb being like, yeah, there's less creature decks, obviously. And, ooh, Thing in the Ice. That's probably the best draw on the deck. So if we draw a blue source, I'm gonna feel kind of dumb. I mean, if we don't draw a blue source, like we draw like a mountain, we feel kind of dumb for running out the looting first. I feel kind of incentivized to wait on this looting. Like, we're just going to cast more things first. But I think I'm going to cast Opt because I really want to hit a land drop. Like, I'm looking for something actively instead of just trying to put, like, Phoenixes and stuff in the yard like I'm going to be trying to do later, most likely. So I think I'm going to set myself up to Opt. Get maximum information before I actually Opt. But I think we're leading on Opt here. It's really tempting to lead on Faithless Looting. Start moving through the deck, get stuff in the graveyard, etc. But I think we're probably supposed to wait. I'm making red beets and sweet potatoes for sides tonight. Aren't you bringing cookies, Hurley? I'm making some for the trip Friday along with cookies. Oh, that's sweet. That's awesome. Oh yeah, this is probably. Maybe we're just supposed to gut shot this now. No, we're definitely supposed to Opt, and then we play Thing in the Ice if we hit a land. And then we can gut shot it later. Uh-oh. Is this like... Oh. This is such a card to put in the graveyard from anywhere. Exile instead? Sure. Top. I guess it's exiled. I don't know. Does that do anything against our deck? We don't have any Delve cards. I don't really know why that made sense, but I guess it made sense to them, and that's important. Yeah, let's put Thing in the Ice in play. And pass. Can't cast any spells. But our next turn is looking to be pretty good with a gut shot and a lightning bolt. Although we're probably going to gut shot, then trigger Thing. So we're definitely gut shotting. Doing this. Paying 2 life and 1. Always yield to this. Guess this is probably going to be another one. There's nothing I can really do about that, though. So we just probably have to let this happen. Oh, a Selfless Spirit? That's fine. Alright. I'm fine with them throwing away a different creature because we have Lightning Bolt. Like, we're kind of planning on just playing a removal spell probably on Thalia each turn until it actually works. And, like, Thing in the Ice is just going to come closer to flipping each time. This is probably a Flicker Wisp. But I'm definitely going to block here. Would like to draw a land. That way I can 2-spell. That's not a land. That's Arclight Phoenix. So, I'm thinking about whether I'm supposed to bolt or play around, like, if we're supposed to play around Flicker Wisp or anything. Because right now, bolting actually doesn't get us anywhere if they have Flicker Wisp. Whereas if we wait, like, there's a chance we could just, like, make them pick everything up. Like, we're not actually on that much of a clock. Thing in the Ice blocks really well. And we're probably going to flip Thing in the Ice long before they actually get something going as far as, like, a real clock. I just want to be able to flip Thing in the Ice a little faster. I think I might, on their end step, try to bolt Thalia. So I think that's what we're going to do. Because then it won't come back till my end step if they do have Flicker Wisp. If they activate Aether Vial here, I'm just gonna bolt Thalia. Yeah, we're just gonna bolt Thalia. I want this to work. Please work. See if this is a Flicker Wisp. I'm probably just gonna flicker the thing in the ice to reset the counters. Mirror Crusader! Oh no! That does a lot of damage. Alright, but they only have one card left in hand. I wonder if this deck is supposed to be playing like a million lands. Like, are they just gonna draw like a billion lands and die? So I feel like they've drawn a lot of lands. Alright, we'll block here. Take 4. Hopefully you don't have any equipment or anything to put on this. Leonin Arbiter, sure. No cards in hand. That's fine. Alright, so what we can do is we can just... They can put this into play. I'm a little scared about attacking. I guess we should just... This is just cast our spells. Put these in the yard. Flip this. Make them pick up Arbiter so we can actually fetch an island. We should probably just put the Phoenixes in play. And then, like, this is the only card we really have to worry about. Just dying to that. And I think we're just going to be able to put them to dead faster. Because we can attack for 13. Puts them to 7. So we need, like, a bolt or something. Alright, I'm just going to Faithless Looting first. This is only instant sorcerers, right? Yeah. Alright, we're in okay shape. We're alright. We are okay. Feel kind of down for playing my land first. But I wasn't totally sure what I was doing because I had all these instant speed cards. Now the Spirebluff Canal looks really stupid. Yeah, we'll put these Arclights in the graveyard. And yeah, let's go ahead and Thought Scour myself. Even though this exiles all the instant sorceries, I don't really care about that. The only thing I care about hitting is Phoenixes. Oh, wait, no, it won't. It'll flip before, so I'll actually get to put all my stuff in the yard. Another Spirebluff Canal. A fetch. I'm just going to Thought Scour myself again off an island. Yeah. Just want to try to hit as many Phoenixes as possible. The more Phoenixes, the better. That's a bolt. Okay. Okay. So we hit him for 13, put him to 7. They could vial the thing and then block. Otherwise they have 4. I don't know, an equipment kills us, but probably an equipment they're playing is going to make their thing unblockable anyway, so I'm just going to make this attack. Put them to 7. And then we have them dead on board currently. Yep, here's your Mirror Crusader. And I know there are other 2 cards in the hand of the other 2 creatures. If they blow up my land in any way, we can just put a Spirebluff and Canal into play untapped. So we're covered on that axis. I don't actually know what we lose outside of just like an equipment. Seagate Wreckage isn't it, so I think we're just win. We can't even draw a card this turn. Savage. Gotcha. So this is like, I guess, a mono white taxes deck. Probably just plays Displacer. Yeah, sure. Combat. Attack with all. Pew! Pew, 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 pew. Bolt you. Base! They're dead! Alright. Let's see what cards Ross likes against these creature decks. What's going on? Flippity flap. Birdies! If they top deck a sword, so be it. Yeah, like, I'll die to a sword. That's fine. Dryad Militant. Rush wrote entire articles about this cantrip sequence. Just get the Phoenixes out, right? Yeah, oh, yeah. There we go. Bolt you! You got bolted. It looks like a lot of Ross's information in his sideboard guide is pertaining to playing around Reflector Mage by cutting some Thought Scours. I mean, well, this is kind of obvious. It says white on it, right? Yeah, right. Do we want Drake's? Drake's block kind of well. He doesn't cut them in his article. In fact, he cuts Swiftspears because they just don't attack very well, which I'm pretty here for. Gosh, they're like all the way down here. I kind of like cutting Swiftspears out of the deck for sure. Then we need more threats, so we probably should board in the Crackling Drakes if I'm being realistic. Also, it's like still fine even against Dread Militant. What else? He had Anger in that previous list. Cut like a Thought Scour, sure. What do you think of this? This looks pretty reasonable, right? I don't hate this. Like keeping our threat count pretty high while still cutting on like mopey spells. Oh, maybe it was just to cut a couple more cantrips. The thing is, like against all these like double strike, first strike decks, it's just pretty awkward. Although Mutagenic Growth does make these like a little bigger at attacking. Cantrips do get a little worse. I don't know. I'm not that big brain. I'm just gonna cut like this, and whatever this is probably close enough. Click submit. I like Drake. Bigger than Flicker Wisp Moresto. Yeah, exactly. Like, it just attacks for $1 billion. What's up, Alabama fan? The deck you're building, huh? Yeah, apparently it's really good. Apparently the deck's busted. Purely because you name it, Hobbs. This deck is great. Been playing it for a month now. Yeah. Bruh, why is the Guildgate art so good? No kidding. So, Tannen, I was looking at the Shockland arts, comparing all the Shockland arts today, just, like, across all 3 sets. And I'm a big RTR fan because that's when I really started playing competitive Magic. I was playing Magic during Ravnica, but not competitively. But I was playing like during Return to Ravnica, and I also got into Modern at that time. So I just used them in all formats. So I have like a lot of love and nostalgia for the Return to Ravnica arts. But so I was looking at the arts, I was like, I think the only one that's actually an upgrade is Stomping Ground. I think the Stomping Ground in this set is the best. Am I supposed to keep this? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to keep this. This is a lot of cantrips. They have to have a Thalia draw. I feel a little stupid. I'm just keeping this. But, where was I? Anyway, then I went and looked at, like, the Simic guild gates and was like, what the hell? This art is incredible. Like, all the guild gates look insane. And, like, all of the Shocklands, I was just like, meh on, for the most part. Especially the Hollow Fountain. I hated the new Hollow Fountain. That Gruul, yeah, that Gruul Guildgate that's just a door is so flavorful. I fucking love it. Is that Team BCW? No kidding. Is this Team BCW, chat? They are good. Booty compared to GG's. Oh no, would really like an Abrade. Please. Wonder if they kept a 1-land Aether Vial though, for real. That would be pretty helpful for me. There's a Bolt. Gonna play a fetch. They can't like flash in an Arbiter, so I can safely pass. I think we might should have cut this card. This card is really bad against Thalia. But I guess our plan is to kill Thalia no matter what anyway, so maybe that's just like extremely poor logic. I'd be willing to accept that. Alright, you can put your on 1. You've got Dryad Militant. Horizon Canopy, eh? Leonin Arbiter. Obviously we are going to fetch. And we are going to shock. Yes. Now, I don't know if we're actually supposed to just, like, bolt this creature or cantrip. I think I'm going to cantrip to try to find my second land. Boop. Cantrip. Second land. Dryad Militant. Incoming. We can now gutshot that if we want. Boop. Thing in the Ice. Oh my gosh, that card is so good. It is so tempting to just top that and hope to spike the second land, but I actually think we have to bottom this. Oh my gosh. This is like the one card I wanted to not see. Oh man. Because everything else is just an easy bottom. We have 18 lands, 16 left in the deck, 51 cards. Oh, this is the 51st, so on 50 cards, 16 lands. I think we have to bottom this. This is tragic. Alright, I'm putting this on bottom. Of course we're going to draw it. Tilt! Tilt, chat. Whatever. Whatever. Mutagenic Growth. That looks pretty stupid right here. It wouldn't if we had a thing in the ice. Tilt. I don't really see a reason to move other than they could flash in Thalia. Like, we're pretty tempted to gut shot this at the minimum. But really, I just want to cast more cantrips and try to, like, move stuff around. I think I'm going to cast Up now in case I hit Faithless Looting, because if I hit Faithless Looting, then we get to just put a Phoenix in play. See, I'm going to cast Up now. The third land with Crackling Drake in our deck, that's pretty attractive to hit. There's a Leonin Arbor that should keep us from casting it. I'm still tempted to bottom this. Because, like, we're very likely to draw another land, I think. And if we don't, I actually don't think it's the end of the world. Like, now I'm looking for threats of Faithless Looting. Gosh, this is so greedy. I think we can do better. Serum Visions. They goes quarter me. I feel dumb. I'm going to hold this Serum Visions. Yeah. Probably just supposed to kill their creatures now before they can Selfless Spirit. I'm going to do that. Gosh, I really don't want to. I'm just going to bolt this. I'm going to hold the Gutshot for Thalia's. But, like, Gutshot's a little more mana efficient, so I want to be able to, like, Gutshot a Thalia while still, like... I'm going to let this thing hit me. I just do not care about this card. And, like, we can always Gutshot it later if I'm trying to, like, get a Phoenix back in play. But I don't want to get Ghost Quartered, especially after bottoming that land. What is this? I don't know. Thalia? Selfless Spirit? Core? Firewalker. Alright. Ugh. We drew the land. Notably, they kept their mana up. I don't know if they're planning to crack this or what. I guess they can't cast this, but they just didn't have something else to cast, except the Spirit's Thalias or whatever. So it's pretty safe to assume they don't have Thalias. Well, we have a lot of free spells here. But we have to kind of be aware of Tectonic Edge if we're trying to Crackling Drake people. That'll be exiled. This is a weird spot. Weird spot for sure. I think I'm just going to start off with a Serum Visions, planning not to crack this Scalding Tarn, because I don't think they have another Arbiter. Or they were really incentivized to cast it. Crackling Drake and a fourth land. Let's go with this Crackling Drake. Put on top. Yeah, we'll play a fetch land, and then next turn we can just fetch 2 basics or whatever, and still cast this Crackling Drake around Tectonic Edge. But we have to like fetch in the right order, or we'll have to float mana. It's fine. There's the Ghost Quarter I was talking about. I'm glad we killed this. I don't know if they had it last turn, but yeah. I think it's worth taking 2 more damage just in case they specifically drew another Thalia. It's pretty scared to play that way, but I'm pretty scared of Thalia, so maybe it just doesn't matter. I don't know. I just don't think either of these creatures matter. Our Gutshot is just going to be so much better. Alright, draw this Crackling Drake. Fetch. I'm going to grab an island and a mountain. Island. What do you guys want to do? Hold the door. The Hodor. Hodor Guildgate. Why are you playing with yourself? Oh, man. Blue, red. This deck's like a lot of thinking. I won't lie to you guys. Like, I've had to spend a lot of this game kind of like really thinking about sequencing. Sure, that's fine. I don't need that land anyway. If they have Leonin Arbor, I still don't really care that much. Like, I'm still going to have access to both colors. Abrade's nice to be able to, like, blow that up because their mana is garbage right now. Is worth noting, we are on, like, a 5-turn clock with this thing. Maybe a little bit more now. This is a Mirror Crusader we're going to block. Yeah, we're going to block in Mutagenic. Okay. Oh, no. Well, that's pretty bad. So we have to draw taking 6 here. To 7, I have to draw the thing in the ice. Bleh. Core Firewalker, actually surprisingly good against this deck. Interesting. I guess Path to Exile is the real hero, right? I don't think we can beat anything, so we're just not going to try to beat anything. If they have something for this, I'm just dead. Like, we need like Thing in the Ice Abrade this. So we basically need to hit like exactly Thing in the Ice in 2 steps. 3, I guess, because of Manamorphose. But we've shuffled now, so that one Thing in the Ice is close to the top of the deck. So we got 41 cards to find a 4 of across 3 cards. Go to 1. Draw. Good one. That's 4 shots at it. Morphose. It's fine. You can gain 1,000,000 life. Oh my gosh. Blue, red. Serum Visions. I don't think that gives me another shot directly. Okay. Thing in the Ice. Blue, red. It's an Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know what it has to be. I'm just gonna like start casting stuff, I think. Thought Scour myself. You can see how I sideboarded, that's fine. Oh no! Alright. Like draw Faithless Looting. That'd be pretty sweet. Rending Volley. Still protection from red. Right. Serum Visions. No! Okay. Yeah, we're dead. Maybe that means I was supposed to cast Visions earlier and let's like plan to Thought Scour them. That might have been reasonable. Yeah, I don't really see any changes I want to make. Yeah, I guess there's like an argument there that like I was supposed to cast Serum Visions first just to dig, and then if I do find a Thing in the Ice, I'm supposed to just Thought Scour them, pick it up, and play it. Thing is, we just died of Mirror Crusader, I think, with all that mana spent. Arclight, what's up? What's up, Tiki? Game 3? Yeah, we're going to Game 3. Rapid Hybridization? Jeez, that card's pretty narrow. I don't know about that one, Chief. I do maybe, I mean, probably the misplay was just not being a man. Being the man with big cojones and topping that Thing in the Ice we saw on turn 1 with no second land. Because, like, we had an opt to find the second one, so we could just, like, untap, be like, alright, well, whatever, we burnt it. Like, maybe it was a Thought Scour instead of an opt, but we had another cantrip to find a land. Be like, whatever, we topped it. Draw a card if we miss, cast another cantrip, try to hit it. And obviously, I mean, that's pretty results-oriented because we were going to hit it, but, like, I don't know. Like, theoretically, I guess the chances are pretty high across all those draw steps. I'm pretty into this hand on the play. Like, it has, like, the right number of cantrips I want to be casting on the play, a good number of lands. Mutagenic Growth I'm still not high on. I kind of wish I'd actually cut Mutagenic Growth, but it is good in combat, so I'm just going to keep. Just going to keep. Hopefully they don't have Aether Vial in turn 1 again. Their deck, I feel like, is far more clunky without Aether Vial. Like, I mean, they couldn't even have cast their core Firewalker last game, but they've just had turn 1 Aether Vial both games, so I don't know. Alright, let's set up for our next few turns. Drew an Arclight Phoenix. I don't really want this Scalding Tarn. If we end up needing a second blue, I'm going to feel a little dumb. I do think I want this Serum Visions. Huh. Arclight Phoenix is a little awkward on turn 1. No, Aether Vial. Aether Vial, all 3 games. Teach me, opponent. Teach me. On my upkeep, what would you like to do? You have a stop. Bloop. Serum Visions. Thing in the Ice is a real good one. Gut Shot's a real good one. I think I'm pretty interested in topping both of these. Put on top. Put on top. Play this land. Pass. And we have a few removal spells for the first 2 things. Arclight Phoenix still looking pretty awkward with no Faithless Looting, but that's okay. We have Thing in the Ice, which is great. We don't really have any protection for Path to Exile, but also interesting. I wonder how many Thalias are in their deck. Like, you have to leave them all in, right? But like, you're boarding in Paths and Vials in your like mana denial deck. Just doesn't seems like pretty non-bow to me. But who am I? Who am I to tell people how to deck build? Don't path me, bro. On 1, huh? I'm okay with this. We're still fine with a Thalia because we have Gutshot, which pays for Thalia. So, yeah, like they just like Violent Athalia. Awkward. We can block and trade this Mutagenic for their creature. Is that worth it? It doesn't feel awesome. I'm not going to this turn. It's just something we have available to us later. Also gets 2 for 1 by path. Mirran Crusader. Deal. Yeah, I just don't really care that much about this card. Like, we can actually trade Mutagenic for this card, which is, like, pretty nice. I just want to untap and draw this opt. If we draw, once again, if we draw Faithless Looting, we just have such a good turn ahead of us, so I think I'm going to go ahead and, like, Thought Scour right now. I think that's the best one to be casting. Also far behind my opponent on time. Maybe worth noting. Oh, I'm really dumb. There's a Faithless Looting in exile. I guess I was thinking we might could hit it and, like, set up for 1 on the next turn, but I forgot this is in play. It doesn't really matter. It just, like, is another thing. Another reason not to cast that over opt, so might should have opted to opt. But it's fine. 2 Aether Vials is going to make this Thing in the Ice flip pretty bad, so we actually do want to start, like, killing their stuff and trading with their things. Yeah. Pretty convinced they don't have Path to Exile, but I'm going to, like, burn some removal spells. I think I'm just going to bolt this Crusader instead of trying to get cute with this Mutagenic. Like, I don't think they have the path, but if they do, it's just so disastrous if we spend the Mutagenic here that it's not worth it to me. Now if we play it on basic, they can just blow them both up. I think I'm just going to bolt this. See if they have Selfless Spirit. If they do, we can just take 4. Flicker Wisp. Well, that's a better thing to Gutshot, that's for sure. Yeah, I can't really do anything about that. And then we can block. Go to damage. Damping Sphere. I've already played 1 spell this turn. Let's see. I don't know what the last card is. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Gutshot this. So that way I could be as mana efficient as possible with this Thing in the Ice flip. Alright. I think we can beat Damping Sphere pretty reasonably. It probably means we're casting this Arclight Phoenix eventually just for the, like, manual mode, but I think we're relying on Thing in the Ice to win this game anyway. Another Thing in the Ice, eh? That's just odd. Alright. Does this exile itself? It's not like the Planeswalkers, right? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure if I Mutagenic it, I don't look like a big dumb idiot. They can't put either of their creatures in play right now if I just Mutagenic it and attack for 9. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Mike could also just pass. Them not being able to put their creatures in play is pretty nice. So I think I'm going to Mutagenic it. I don't know. This is a little aggressive, but... Oh yeah, I have to pay 1 because I've already played a spell. Did this math. Pick all your stuff up. Combat, hit you for 9. And then they can't, like, immediately file their stuff back in. And, like, we can slowly work on, breaking this next Thing in the Ice to just, like, definitely kill them. I have no effects. I don't know why I'm waiting. Lets them know I don't have Gutshot, but I only have 8 minutes left to win this game. I've been thinking a lot and talking a lot. Alright, have you guys said anything intelligent? Probably should have bolted before Vile hit 3 in case of flicker. Yeah, maybe. I wasn't super sold on viling at that point. I mean, on bolting at that point in time. This is a Leonin Arbor. That's really bad for me. Oh, well, whatever. We'll rely on a 7-8 to win this game. Notice the synergy between Ghost Quarter and Tectonic Edge. They can Vile in their double strikey guy, and they can put everything in front of my Awoken Horror. I think I'm willing to take that trade. Am I willing to trade all 3 of their creatures for my 1 thing in the ice currently? It feels attractive to me. Yeah, I think I'm willing to make that trade. Yeah, I'm willing to make this trade. The 3 for 1 is attractive to me, especially with that other thing already in play. I think they're pretty incentivized to make this trade too. They might just block, but I don't know. I'm pretty into this. Yeah, you have to put everything in front. Sure. I think we're more likely to draw land before they draw like something that matters. Like they obviously have a lot of spells in their deck. And if they path me, I get a blue land and can start casting these. So like we're still insulated, I think, against path. What is this? Thalia? Sure, that was a good draw. Doesn't attack the thing there, so I guess it's just better draws. Fetch. Go grab. I think a Steam Vents. Could grab an island, and I can't get tack edged if I ever play a 4th fetch land. I'm gonna grab an island. Get a Serum Visions, paying 1 to do so. Everything costs 1,000,000 mana. Abrade, Arclight. That's actually good because now we can't get tack edged. I don't think Arclight does anything. I do think Abrade does something. So I think we're okay again. I think we're good to go. We can like Abrade Thalia and then like try to opt or whatever. I might just not care. There's no reason not to block. Boop. They can Vile Thalia back into block. We need 2 spells left, so Abrade costs 3 mana. We should just fetch now to play around the Leonin Arbiter. Grab an island. I guess they don't have any cards in it and I want to play around like removal spells, right? So I should just deal 3 damage to this now. And then next turn we have like this turn we have opt at any point. As long as they don't have another Thalia, we can just opt on instep, make them pick up all their creatures. And I think we're going to do that. Because I can just cast Arclight now. Cast. Okay, pick up Dryad Militant. I don't know what they drew, but it doesn't particularly matter. Alright. Good card. That's a fine card. I don't think I want to get too cute. I just want to put this into play. Attack for 10. Combat. Oh. Yeah, put you to 1. Die! You have a 2-drop. Deal. Feel free to block. Alright, they have a Dryad Militant in hand, 3rd 8. If we draw a removal spell next turn off Faithless Looting, we're in good shape. Or opt. I guess we have 2 looks, but it has to be castable after with Damping Sphere around. Let's see. What we got? We got a lot of creature removal in our deck. They have a stop on my upkeep. Manamorphose is an actively bad draw. I think for now I'm just going to keep attacking into this. Like, they have to block currently. I'm fine just, like, putting them under an abyss that, like, they're still losing life from. Make them cut off on mana. I can also just discard it to Faithless Looting. Cast opt now because of Damping Sphere. Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, now we'll just put this in play and make them sack their land. Because like if we're like going to be doing a Faithless Looting turn, it's going to involve discarding Arclight. But we're probably just casting Arclight because that just puts them on super lethal. Yep, that's fine. They have 2 cards. If it's 2 creatures, they get to live. If not, they don't. Tectonic Edge Me is what I was looking for. So it has to be a 3-drop and a 2-drop specifically. And another Arclight Phoenix. Here you go. Boop. Are you dead? Check out my 4-mana 3/2 hasters. Are you dead to these? Do you die to this? You have something. Is it a Flicker Wisp? Flicker Wispy. Flick Awoken Horror. Take 3, go 2/2. And then die to the next Arclight Phoenix I have. Flicker Wisp was one of their better draws. I didn't even think about it until they tapped their Violin 3 as like something that they have that's an out. Man, this deck is powerful. Especially these creature decks. These Thing in the Ices have just been so good. How about another one? Oh, that one killed you. They're dead. Yes. I wonder what they had for the first one. Alright. Off to a good start. How goes everyone? I was promised Snare Thopters and I'm disappointed. Snare Thopters? What is that? I don't know what a Snare Thopter is. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Sorry I wasn't really able to interact as much as I would have liked. There was a lot to think about in those games. Aether Vial along with a million cantrips makes this deck actually pretty hard to play. And obviously I'm trying to get some legitimate reps with the deck, just sequencing. Don't particularly care what I play against. Although that deck was like fine. It's just like probably a worse humans. Interesting. We get information on what they're playing before casting either a cantrip or Monastery Swiftspear, so I'm definitely keeping this no matter what. 2 threats, I mean, just removal, NASCAR, all this stuff. Pretty interested in it all. This looks like Shadow or Hollow One. Thinking Hollow One, at which point I want to cast Serum Visions, I think. Oh, never mind, it's Dredge. I should have thought it was Dredge, right? Oh, is this Dredge? Dredge doesn't play Street Wraith, do they? I don't think Dredge plays Street Wraith. Well, that's may change things. Having like a hell of an attacker is pretty nice. 2 Blood Gas. It's still probably just Hollow One. They play Blood Gas. I don't know. When I see Blood Gas, I think Dredge. But it's probably just Hollow One. Hollow One makes me kind of want to just hit my land drops. I mean, if they have Discard Spell, I think that's probably the best card. If they have Discard Spell, I feel a little stupid. I think I'm just going to set up. I think Hollow One we're a little better against than some of the other decks, so I'm going to plan to, like, especially Dredge. Like, if this was Dredge, I'd play a Swiftspear on turn 1. Because this is Hollow One, I think I'm going to Serum Visions, try to hit my land drops and set up the rest of the game. Yeah, I guess we're just bottoming both. We could Faithless Looting. But I just want to give myself the maximum number of draw steps without using mana to hit land drops, so I think that that's fine. 2 Mutagenics means this Thing in the Ice is going to flip quick. We have, like, literally the turn after, it just flips. So if they put, like, some Dredge, if they put some Delve creatures in play along with some, like, stuff, we get to just put all that back. Well, they did looting it all away, so maybe we're just giving it back to them. Flameblade Adept. Yeah, all this makes sense. A million creatures. Land drop, please. Ding. Look at us being fucking professional. Gosh, we're so good at this game. So skilled. Island, mountain, thing. Go. Have you heard of Flux? You don't wear the pedo glasses? Oh, I'm loving the pedo glasses. I have heard of Flux. I think Chris uses it. It is pretty sweet. Oh, what's up, Robert Meadows? How goes it? What are they doing? They are a bolt deck, so I actually don't think I'm blocking with Thing in the Ice here. Obviously, they're push deck too. I just like really want to keep my Thing in the Ice around because we can like kind of hit them for a billion, which is pretty nice. We can like Manamorphose, Swiftspear, Mutagenic, Thought Scour. Oh no, I have to play the Swiftspear afterwards if I don't want it to get bounced. That's lame. Alright, I guess we'd have to play Swiftspear last for it to actually do damage. Vomit. Noticeably, they didn't... Oh, Bolt's so good. Because that's something I'd much rather cast. And, like, I have another one for backup with the Swiftspear. I think I want to hit with Thing in the Ice this turn. Especially since they just have all their mana up. The thing is, if they... I probably should just use Thing in the Ice defensively. I can, like, Morphos, Bolt, or whatever. Plan to flip it. Morphos, Thought Scour, Mutagenic's also a plan. I don't think I want to get aggressive. Maybe I want to just, like... Gosh, the thing is, Morphos requires me to use all the mana immediately. This is weird. Them not moving, like, if they have a push, like, this is just, like, a very awkward spot to be in. Because, like, it's obvious I want to keep this around. I think I'm going to play Swiftspear and try to block. Is that egregious? Just play Swiftspear, try to, like, double block this thing or whatever. And then we have Mutagenics to protect our stuff from damage-based removal. How many pushes does Hollow One play? Flip your thing. But if they have push, we feel so dumb. Fine. Morphos. Yeah, if they have push, I feel like a big dumb idiot. But I guess I get the bolt their thing no matter what. I'm going to cast the Thought Scour, I think, because I'm casting 3 spells. Oh, never mind. We should have land 2 because we're fucking professional. Yeah, let's lead off with a Thought Scour myself. If we draw a Faithless Looting, there's a chance we play it. Yeah. Now there's a Serum Visions we can cast, so we don't have to burn these Mutagenics. That's attractive as well. Put this in play. Bolt that. And then we're just going to Serum Visions. We could put Swiftspear in play. Could just like Mutagenic. I don't want to put Swiftspear in play. Yeah, I'm gonna Serum Visions. I just like want to stay card neutral on everything I'm doing. Yeah, here comes a push. Vomit. Maybe it's double bolt. That'd be sweet. Please be double bolt. Because Mutagenic is going to look real ugly. Oh no, opponent. Don't do it. Yeah, there's 3 damage marked on this. Oh, don't do it, opponent. Oh no. That one. Pay 2 life. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. How did it all go so wrong? Oh, they don't want to play Magic with me anymore. My gosh. Not like this, Hollow One. Alright, you got it. Abrade. Seems fantastic. Kind of like this card. It blocks well. Yeah, it's pretty medium, though. It doesn't even block that well. It attacks well. That's disgusting. They have 1 to 2. Good play, Bolting Flameblade. That is correct. Oh, baby. Yeah. You know, you're right, Rudy. It looked real good there. What do you want to bring in on these Abrades? I'm just not even sure what I want. Like, Thing in the Ice kind of slaps. I'm not super impressed with Monastery Swiftspear, so, like, my first inclination is to cut at least 2 of those. Because, like, I don't think we're the aggressor in this matchup. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut the other 2 and put Crackling Drake in my deck and ship. I kind of like that. Just, like, my plan is, like, pick all their stuff up with Thing in the Ice, realistically. Although Mutagenic is kind of goofy. I'm not in love with these cards. I don't really like Surgical against them that much. Like, only hits Bloodghast if they leave it in. I guess it's Phoenix, too. No White Splash. That's the next list, Chad. The next list we're playing is gonna be White Splash. Bleh. I think I want these in my deck. May want this in my deck. What hate do they play? They play like Graftinger's Cage. We already bring in Abrades for that. Could have like Spell Pierce in our deck. That's like not unreasonable, like 1 Spell Pierce. I don't think that's horrible. I don't think this is on Ross's sideboard guide. Because it was like, Hollow One's like not a deck. Oh no, it was! He does like bring in Surgical in this matchup. Alright, fine. We'll bring in 2 Surgicals. Doesn't like Gut Shot in this matchup? That's reasonable. Alright, I'm cutting Gut Shots too. Yeah, 49 seconds. Alright, I'm bringing the last Surgical. Oh, wait, no, I messed this up. Boop. Boop. And a Spell Pierce. Could leave in Swiftspear. I'll leave in 1 Swiftspear, the calculated one of. It's a little better than Spell Pierce. Sure. Seems fine. I was wrong. It is on Ross's sideboard guide. Look at me, sitting there trying to do all the thinking. I could just not think. They don't play Cage. What do they play? They play like Surgical? I guess Cage stops them. I don't know. I figure with Dredge, they'd need something a little bit better because, like, it's probably worth it to, like, hate yourself a little bit if you have something powerful enough to stop Dredge. Just, like, you know to board out your, like, goofiness. And they obviously can't board out all of their Dredge cards. I don't know. It seemed like it would make sense to me for all of them playing Grafter's Cage. But I could just be dumb. Surgical is a fine card. It's just, like, much lower impact against Dredge. Come on, opponent. I want to keep my hand. I have free spells. I can cast them. It's Force of Will. This is a Force of Will matchup. They play Leyline. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Leyline is still kind of clunky in their deck. They play 4 Leylines. Do you guys know? I don't know anything about Hollow One. That is not yet evident. Mulligan. Ugh. We have an Opt. We have a Surgical. We have an Abrade. I think it's an easy keep. We have a thing in the ice too. This hand's actually fantastic, except for the mana problem. Yeah, that's an easy bottom. Let's see if they have Leyline. They do not. Lucky us. We have a Bolt for that. And we had a red source. We can, like... Gosh, I wish we had, like, a Spirebluff Canal, because that could hold up Opt. Like, if they, like, Goblin Lore, I want to Bolt this. If they, like, just do something kind of mopey, I want to Opt instead and, like, probably set up for Thing Ice. I'm just going to prepare to Bolt. Here's a higher chance I Bolt than I Opt, I think, because we need to hold spells for this thing on the ice. So, I mean, we have plenty of spells in our hand. We got 4 spells right now. But like this, like, I'm just not super into. I think I'm willing to just, like, not Bolt here and take, like, more damage next turn if it means I get to, like, stick this thing in the ice and keep it in play. I guess I don't want to F6. I want to represent Mutagenic Growth now that they've seen it, even though I'm pretty sure it's horrible in this matchup. Alright, 3rd land. They got 4 cards in hand. What are they mulligan to? Bloodghast, Hardcast. Deal. That'll be a deal for me. Tormod Script. That's another deal. Alright. Yeah, this is probably not going to go their way. I'll take my 1. They have 2 cards left. Feels like it's probably asking a lot for them to win this game. I have to, like, Thought Scour them to, probably for them to even have a chance. Feels like, I don't know what their hand could be. Their hand could just be some bomb that I can't beat, I guess. But what I know of Hollow One, hey, that's something else that kills a Delve threat. I think I'm pretty into opting here. Looking for a land. Opt. Always yield. Land. Oh, jeez, what a land to hit. Sure, that counts. Alright. Bolt. Yo! No real reason to do it now. Other than F6 value, but it makes a statement. It makes a statement to not bolt now. I don't think there's any actually other reason. We can flip in response if we had to. Like, if we block, I don't know. I'm gonna put them on bolt. We're at such a high life total, it doesn't matter if they have bolt or not. We're gonna win this game pretty quickly. That's fine. Alright, we can keep our thing in the ice here. It's just gonna hurt. Alright. Surgical target. Flameblade Adept, I guess. Probably gonna take the one out of their graveyard and leave the rest in the deck. What do they have? What do they have in hand? They have a Foothills in hand to bring back Bloodghast. We have to kill it anyway. A bunch of hollow ones, Tormod scripts. Let's see. Street Race, all the Street Race in their deck. They have one Tassiger. They have 3 Fatal Push. Jesus. 2 more Lightning Bolts. They have the set of Lightning Bolts in. Do they not have any Gurmag Anglers? I guess they board them out. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, we're just going to take the one out of the graveyard. I don't actually care if they draw more. That happens. And then we're going to Lightning Axe. Cast this, discarding... I think the Abrade's a little better than the cantrip. Especially, like, the context of them having a Tormod script. Alright, and so we know their hand is Bloodghast, Wooded Foothills. Combat. Hiya! 7U. We took the one out of the graveyard, obviously, to stop delve threats. Faithless Looting. That's a pretty good job. Discard Flameblade Phoenix Bloodghast. They hit a creature? Like, why would you discard this if you don't have a delve threat? They have to have a delve threat, right? What? Why not just cast it? Cast it and start attacking. Or cast the second main and block. I don't really understand it. We're going to hold this land to discard the lootings. And lava axes. Or lightning axes, I'm sorry. Lava axes, same thing. Yeah, I guess they miss blocking with this as a reasonable line. Because they have a Foothills in their hand. That they probably shouldn't have in their hand. Also, I don't know why they... discarded hollow one? They should have a delve threat then? That's what that has to mean? You could have just put hollow one in play and brought Phoenix back. I'm so confused. What am I missing? They don't know about this Abrade, right? Flashback, looting, and concede. Alright, sure. Those last turn sequences didn't make a ton of sense to me. Like, they could block with that Phoenix, and... No, I know Phoenix can attack each turn, but if you play it second main, it doesn't get a chance to attack. Any reason not to axe Bloodghast and Surgical? That would be because I'm bad at Magic the Gathering. If I was better at Magic the Gathering, I would have Lava Axed the Bloodghast and Surgicaled it. But I am not, so here I am. I was more focused on, like, knowing what's in their hand, honestly, than, like, what was on the board. Because, like, the Bloodghast, I think I could pretty reasonably establish was irrelevant. And so, like, all that really mattered was the thing in the ice. Now, obviously, if they answer my thing in the ice, it's, like, relevant. So, it's just, like, a percentage point I missed because it wasn't relevant on the board. If they're not playing a creature deck, we are pretty dead. Actually, it's not even true. This hand's actually probably pretty good against KCI. We could just, like, turn 3, Morphos into Bolt. And if we have, like, any other spell, or, like, whatever, or if we even have a third land, we could just, like, triple Bolt and hit them for 16 on turn 3. Okay. No, this thing's actually pretty good at NASCARing, so it doesn't even matter if they're in a creature deck. This smells like creature deck to me, which is just like the absolute nut high. Oh no! Oh no! Stop! Please stop. I think this is probably really good against this deck, I feel like. Is this just good against every deck? Is that just what this is like? Alright, now we can put them to... Now we can definitively, on turn 3, put them to 3. That's a little bit disgusting. Right? Yeah, we can definitively put them to 3. If we draw land. If not, they're just going to 6, 7, 14. They're going to 6. And are dead on board to a thing in the ice. So we're probably not actually shooting anything that isn't like a Steel Overseer, maybe. I would probably shoot a Steel Overseer. I'm not going to do anything about that. They're not putting creatures in play. That's absolutely disgustingly good for us. I'm getting a little excited, chat. I'm licking my chops. That doesn't let us cast the 3rd Lightning Bolt, but that's okay. We have a thing in the ice. All right, chat. Let's do it. I want to put these people to 0 on turn 3. I don't know what we can hit that actually lets us put to 0 on turn 3. That is fine. You may have your 2/2. Deal. You can even make a 1/1. I'm very okay with that as well. Deal. Alright. Here we go. So the question is, do we do it now? Probably. I can't really think of a good reason not to. Like we could like bolt them in step, untap. That still doesn't matter, right? Like just none of this matters. All right. Let's cast the Manamorphose and make red because that's just like 100% what we're doing anyway. Right? Bolt. We can Thought Scour for sure. If we can draw a better land, we can bolt again. Yeah, let's just cast this. Always yield. Okay. Make red. Serum Visions. I don't think Serum Visions does that much compared to other things. I guess we're going to Thought Scour ourselves to try to hit some Phoenixes. Phoenixes. No, those are Arclight Phoenixes. Alright, tilt. Bolt. Yo! Face! And bolt. Yo! Face again! Pick up all your nonsense. Put you two pretty close to dead. Die. And if they make that exact same play, then they're just dead. Cool. We both played hard. Actually, they're just dead to damage. Good game. We both played hard. Both teams played very hard this game. It was a very challenging game. But I'm really proud of us for making it through it all. Graftland. Very nice. Very nice. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you can move a counter from this land onto it. They're playing a tap land, ladies and gentlemen. They are taking a point, going to 3. Dead. You are dead, opponent. Opponent with the pain land as well. Yeah, no kidding. The gut shot. We had the gut shot to spare. Oh no. It's a 4/4. I can't beat a 4/4. And a 1/1? Not even going to make a 1/1. Very interesting. Oh, you're just going to make a 2/2. Also very interesting. I wonder if they're actually like kind of close to stabilizing, because they would just like jump with this and put 2 counters on this, make it like a 6/6, and like, I don't know. Maybe they're somewhat close. It doesn't really matter. Bolt. You! Face! You! They're dead. 0. This deck has been kind of hot. Hardened Scales. Ross says Swiftspear and and Thought Scour suck. Let's see if I have time to read that as to why that is. Oh gosh, this is like so obnoxious. Everything's terrible. This is originally what he was doing in the Sideboard guide, but he had Crackling Drakes in the deck. Like, this is the old Sideboard guide that has Crackling Drakes in it, so I'm pretty sure we're supposed to probably bring this card in. Doesn't really reference Crackling Drake in this matchup. It does still seem better than Monastery Swiftspear, so I think I'm going to make that change. More likely because he, like, didn't make that change. Ironic that, like, this is kind of a fast deck where this card's probably better just because this thing can't attack through a lot of their ground pounders. Just, like, being massive and in the air is, like, really relevant. Yeah. Basically, his Sideboard guide says, unsurprisingly, thing in the ice is the nut, ship it. Our hand was also, like, pretty great. Alright, what's going on, Ela girl? Phoenix must be played at the beginning of combat, so there's no point to playing it. I like flipping at the end of the turn most of the time. Drake the Man Sasserino, what's up? Jazba MTG. You rescued my Facebook post from attrition by elitists earlier. I appreciate that. You're welcome. I think. I mean, yeah, people can get pretty elitist. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for checking my stream out. I appreciate you being here. Just chilling, playing some Phoenix today in preparation for Columbus. Yeah, I think you're talking about the Titan Shift group, right? I was trying to like process the elitist you were talking about. Yeah. Anyway, about flipping instep, I think in that matchup it helps to be aggressive and not let them just like get a bunch of counters in play. I'm not really sure what they could do about it. Like, maybe you're just right that, like, I should make them think they have a better turn than they do. Is this hand good? This hand looks good, but, like, does surprisingly little. Like, this is a good card to have. The land's functional, but, like, this isn't really a threat. This is, like, a pretty bad cantrip, and this, like, sideboard card is kind of trappy. I think it's, like, a fine 7, but I think the 7's a lot worse than it looks on the surface. But, anyways, yeah, I think flipping Instep, I don't actually know when it's right to flip Instep, because if they have, like, a removal spell for some reason, like a Dismember, I don't know what Hardened Skills, like, necessarily would play in their main deck, like, what's good enough. But if they have, like, any form of removal spell, it's just, like, so punishing. Plus, like, our hand was so aggressive that, like, I mean, you saw, we literally could just put the lead. We're tapped out. We could put them to dead, to known information to us, like, immediately. Like, it doesn't really seem like there's any value in waiting. But that's my maybe kind of dumb take. It's tilting the Serum Visions is not a opt or Thought Scour because I want to hold up Ceremonious Rejection because we don't really have any great removal spells. Actually, that's not true. We have Lightning Axe, so I'm just going to play Spirebluff Canal and hold up Lightning Axe. Just like plan to Axe, discarding Phoenix on their Metallic Mimic if that's the first thing they play. And even if they regen it, it's like fine. Oh, that's awkward. Maybe it's less fine now. Make them sack their Welding Jar. We get to put Phoenix in the graveyard. I could counter this. I just don't think it's necessarily good enough to counter. Phoenix in the yard. We also need another spell, so maybe I'm actually supposed to... I'm pretty tempted to Ceremonious Rejection this. I don't think I am going to, though. Name Construct. Arclight Ravager's a beast, notably. Yeah, I can put a Phoenix in the play next turn, so I think it's right to just pass. Like, there's a chance we still don't want to, which I'm fine with. Like, putting a Phoenix in play is pretty marginal. We could Serum Visions and set up for, like, a potentially even better turn. Also, like, you know, it saves 2 points of damage to Lightning Axe on their turn because of regeneration. Like, putting one Phoenix in play seems kind of low value, especially without a Thing in the Ice, whereas we could use these Serum Visions to find Thing in the Ices. I think I'm immediately attracted to doing that. So I'm actually just going to cast the Serum Visions to try to find a Thing in the Ice and make our turns a little better. I'm pretty off that land. I don't think I'm on this Crackling Drake either. I think I'm just looking for... Maybe I am. In which case, bottom of the land was bad. This Crackling Drake hits really hard. And, like, we don't really have a great threat. Alright, I'm going to put this on top. I shouldn't have bottomed the land if I was planning on keeping this. But, like, I was very much, like, focused on trying to hit a Thing in the Ice. I'm going to hold up Opt, Ceremonious Rejection, and Lightning Axe this turn. And then plan to put a Phoenix into play next turn. Ideally casting Lightning Axe this turn. What is this? Hardened Skills? That is fine. So if this is a Steel Overseer gets a counter. Or like an Arcbound Worker, I think, is a construct. That's a construct. Alright, let's Lightning Axe this. Boop. Discarding a Phoenix. Make them tap it. If they want to keep it, that's like the one they have to regenerate. So it still trades with one of their cards. Might should have done that a little earlier to play around Mox Opal actually doing something, but I think I could have responded to the cast of Mox Opal and it would have been fine. So it is a 3/3. Could have countered this. I just don't think this card's relevant. Could obviously be wrong. But I legitimately don't think it's relevant. I'm going to play the Mountain because I want to hold up all my mana anyway, and I want to tap the 2 worst lands in case I do draw a red removal spell. I think I'm supposed to make blue here. Blue. Boop. Of course! Of course. Crap. Well, gosh, I don't want to burn all my spells now. That is moderately unfortunate. Thing in the Ice is real good. I guess I need a land for Crackling Drake anyway. Putting Phoenix into play is attractive because I think we can start racing as long as they don't have a Ravager. I don't know. What do you guys like doing here? Get back Phoenix. I think it's TT pass, right? Don't play Thing. He can just kill it with Ballista. I mean, he needs another land to kill it with Ballista. Specifically. So what do we want to do here? Or actually, he has, yeah, if he has a land, it gets to blow it up. So do we want to maybe cast cantrips, try to find more cantrips to make this Thing in the Ice better, or like the 4th land for Crackling Drake, and then put Phoenix into play and plan to block? I think planning to block is pretty reasonable, because like it incentivizes them to use 2 counters off of their Ballista just to shoot our Arclight Phoenix down. And we still get to hold up Ceremonious Rejection. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to lead on opt. Look for cantrips or lands. I think that's the only things we're topping. Oh my gosh. Why is it like this? Like, we just want this, right? Put our TT in play. The thing is, they put 2 counters on their guy. Do we just hold the line? Oh no, I don't know. I think I'm gonna top this. It protects our Crackling Drake too. Like if they shoot our Thing in the Ice, our Crackling Drake is more likely to get through. I think we want this. Top Jam TT. Yeah, we can top Jam TT. Still, if they have a land though, their Ballista lives at 1, right? Because it puts 2 counters on it. Oh no, this becomes a 6 because this card's busted. All right, yeah, no. I'm just like have small brain. Small brain. Small brain. This card bad. All right. That's so awkward. We cast 2 spells and then like didn't cast the last one to like put our Arclight Phoenix in play. I mean, the thing is Arclight Phoenix is pretty low impact here, but just like that turn felt really awkward. I'm not sure if I just like blatantly missequenced something there, but like it feels like our plan changed 3 different times during the course of that. Hey, let's tap land. During the course of that turn, which is really frustrating. Arcbound Ravager. Would like to have held this up. That's a deal, I guess. I'm actually not sure we can win this game. I'm not sure how much damage they can do, but like it feels pretty hard to win this game. I wonder if they're just gonna like move everything on the Ballista aggressively. It feels pretty goofy to do that. As if I have an Abrade to get blown to the moon. Oh gosh, what are you doing? Okay. Make that an 8-8. Alright, I can beat an 8-8. Well, taking 16 hurts. Yeah, shoot that. Shoot that. Shoot it once more. Alright, protect it. I think two life, remove 2 counters from their thing is good enough. Shoot it again, it's dead. Maybe we should have done that aggressively in response, since they could kill it. That would have made them burn 1 more counter, actually. I'm bad. I'm real bad. Because, like, now this is a 2-2 instead. And that changes the clock by a turn. Gross! And they could pump to, like, kill our Crackling Drake, too. Yeah, I definitely should have done that in response to the Arcbound. Oops. I'm just going to cast the Morphose. I'm going to try to get a Thing in the Ice in play. I'm not a Thing in the Ice, a Phoenix in play. And hold up Ceremonious Rejection and try to get them to, like, shoot down. It's so free to shoot down the Phoenix. It's just, like, doesn't matter. I'm just just gonna put Drake in play. Go. You gonna play this tight Saturday? Probably not. I'll probably play way worse. Hey, look at Abrade. See, look, I'm just gonna get bailed out by the power level of the deck anyway. Look, Hardened Scales has a lot of moving parts. Honestly, I think my opponent hasn't played great. Like, popping the Arcbound that aggressively seemed a bit loose, but I guess letting me untap with a bunch of instant speed spells to like try to flip a thing in the ice is pretty rough. So maybe it was like really actually fine, and they're just like way smarter than I am. I'm willing to accept that. Yep. Alright. We know what's going to happen here. You're just going to shoot the crap out of my Crackling Drake, and it hit me for a million. Fortunately, I do have the Abrade for the Ballista on the next turn. So if we draw a third spell, we can actually put Phoenix in play and have it really matter. But currently, this game has been pretty awkward. That's not a spell. Well. I'm casting this no matter what, and I'm holding this no matter what. So, I mean, unless we draw like another Crackling Drake or something ridiculous. Abrade opt. Well, top. Try to bait them into using their whole turn. Yeah, I'm gonna try to bait them into using their whole turn for Ballista, which may be egregious, because like if I end up having to like just shoot it anyway, I'm gonna feel really dumb. But there's a good chance, like, there's a good chance I think that they just pump and try to attack for like lethal. It's like a pretty attractive turn. Obviously, I imagine they're going to do it here. They're not. Sure, blow me out. Puts me to 3. Turning this. I mean, we have Ceremonious Rejections for a backup one, so we're not going to get, like, punked out by damage, I don't think. And, like, we're not going to die to the Metallic. They didn't pump. We're not going to die to the Metallic Mimic because of the second Abrade we know about. So, pretty interested to see what this is. Imagine it's good. Maybe should have played this and held up both Ceremonious Rejections. Tap for green. Hold the land for looting. Yeah, I mean, obviously I held the land for looting, but I think holding up double Ceremonious might have been better here. If this is a Ballista, we're obviously just countering it. Yeah, see ya. No thanks. Get that out of my house. Okay, we have an opt into an Abrade. I think I'm going to pass. I want to try to like get this Phoenix into play really badly. And like I said, I don't think Reach is actually going to resolve. So I'm going to wait another turn and try to once again get 3 spells going. This is only on my turn, right? I can't like cast 3 spells in their turn. Yeah, tilled. That'd be kind of sweet. Just like they play something pre-main, we get to like Ceremonious Rejection, then opt into Abrade or whatever. Put a Phoenix into play on their turn. No cigar. No sweet plays today. Drake. Alright, what you got? What? Is this another one? Oh, I'm probably just countering that too. That card seems also very hard to beat. Yeah, get out of here. Might put me dead to Ballista. It's okay. I don't think we're really beating that card realistically. It's just we're too low of a life total already. Let's opt. Try to hit a cantrip. That's not a cantrip. Goodbye. That's kind of a cantrip. You can like shock bolt and like put them on the burn plan. Alright. Destroy that. Bolt you. Get an Arclight Phoenix back. Okay. Yeah. Alright, that's what we got. We got 1 Phoenix. Got lots of good draws in our deck. Thing in the ice. No longer really among them. Faithless Looting definitely among them. Sure. You have like another 2-drop. Excuse me. A 1-drop. 1-drop, 3/3. Well, now we're at a little life total and I have to block. Maybe we could have held the bolt. Really wanted the Phoenix back. Obviously punished for it. Gonna hold this land for Faithless Looting too. If we draw 2 cards we want off Faithless Looting, it makes sense to have 2 lands in hand, and obviously we can just play one the turn we draw Faithless Looting. Planning to block with Arclight Phoenix, like have to block Arcbound Worker. Hopefully they don't have a way to pump Metallic Mimic, or I'd feel really stupid. I guess if you hold it's whatever, but if you need to Abrade, then just cycling Opt and getting no real scry. The thing is, I'm planning on holding both spells, Michael. I was planning on holding both spells to try to get Arclight back, just to like get the card. And what is this? This is an Arcbound we just concede. Hanger back. We probably can't beat that, but we can act like we can beat that. I'm not really sure what gets us out. I think it's got to be like a Faithless Looting into like a real good sequence of cards. Probably dead. You're going to put the counters on Hanger back, so it has to be like Thing in the Ice has to be involved now. It has to be like Thing in the Ice into like a bunch of Manamorphoses or whatever. Alright. Phoenix ain't it, Chief. That was weird. I feel like our hand was really good that game, and like we just kind of died. I guess it's because our Thing in the Ice got sniped down. Notably, I think we would have been 2 life higher, but I don't think that actually mattered at the end of the game. They just kind of won by miles. I don't know. Like, it did kind of feel like we had, like, all the things that we wanted going, and just, like, we got out-grinded by, like, a lot of, like, really awkward cards. That game was really weird. I don't know. I might have also played badly, because, like, we had multiple awkward turns. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to hold up Thought Scour and Ceremonious Rejection on turn 1. Hoping to hit a second land. This Serum Visions is probably not getting cast until turn 1,000,000. Approximately turn 1,000,000. It may not actually be turn 1,000,000, but Mox Opal. We could counter their Mox Opal. Would you mental misstep a Moxen? This is like just letting them know I have Ceremonious Rejection too. Nah. It can come in. Darksteel Citadel, Artifact Thing, Artifact Thing. Welding Jar? What are the chances they need this for their Mox Opal? I might actually counter this. Nah, counter spells are good against Welding Jar. Gosh, I really want. I feel like they're low on mana. Like they're just gonna Darksteel Citadel, and it's like their only mana sources. But that's okay. I also really like need to hit a second land, so like I'd like to not have to counter this turn. That might be asking for too much. A tap land. That does not let you do anything on turn 1. Alright, I guess they're just not planning on doing anything turn 1. Okay. I don't really get why they held for so long. Like, why they, like, took so long on that turn. But I obviously don't know the context of their hand. We hit the second land because we're fucking professional. And we hit a third land because we're still fucking professional. Yeah, I think this is a pretty easy just Thing in the Ice turn. It's an awkward card for them to try to beat, and their start was pretty mopey, so... Oh, hey, they can move their counter to my creature! What? Why didn't you do it? Come graft my thing. I didn't know graft worked on your opponent's creatures. Not something that's come up before. I learned something today, chat. They have Jar, Opal, 2... But the thing is, if they have a 2-drop, like, we can just Ceremonious that. We don't play Maximize Velocity, by the way, Ela girl. Yeah, the average turn 1's probably not that impressive. Alright, well, let's see what their turn 2 looks like, because our turn 2 was great. That's not great. You gonna move the counter? Moving the counter would seem pretty bad. I feel like that counter can do better somewhere else. I'd be shocked if they moved this counter. Because it's still also not even attacking through an Arcbound Worker. Whoa! Really? Like, you're not attacking through this Thing in the Ice. Ravager. Okay. No, this still doesn't make sense to me. Alright. Well. I'm going to fetch and lead on a Serum Visions. Pretty not interested in tapping my second blue because I want Ceremonious Rejection. Like, this turn isn't that impressive out of them. But they are a deck that can win out of nowhere. I think I'm going to bottom both of these. I'm just not really looking for any of this. And I'm going to Faithless Looting, plenty to discard this extra land currently. Just like move counters off this too. Also, if we get a free spell, Ceremonious plus free spell bounces everything. Oh, well. That changes things, right? Maybe not. Because we still have a 3-spell turn next turn. Yeah, no, like, we still have a 3-spell turn next turn. I'm actually just going to pass. Yeah. It makes much more sense to pass here. Just, like, flip Thing in the Ice as late as possible. We have the counterspell for, like, a Ballista, which I think is the only thing we're actually scared of right now. And, like, they've already committed their Llanowar Reborn counter. If they sack anything, it's just fantastic. I wonder if I block just to, like, make them scared. I don't know what level they're on, because if I block and, like, they move counters to, like, try to kill my thing and I blow them out by casting 2 spells, then, like, it's just an absolute disaster for them. But I'm not sure if they'd sniff that out. They might just, like, do it and punish me. So, like, I don't know what level my opponent's on, so I'm probably just going to play conservatively. But I think there's definitely... No, thank you. That'll be enough for me, dog. No. What if instead we didn't do that? Stop it. Stop playing this card. It's like, I feel like that's like seriously the best card because it like kills this thing. It's the only thing I can think of that like realistically kills this thing out of their deck, unless they're playing weird stuff like Dismember. Which I wouldn't blame them. Like, I think playing Dismember out of this deck in this metagame with a bunch of these running around is actually a pretty heads up thing to do. It's more castable than Galvanic Blast, I think, on average in this deck. If you always want to have the surprise I win button, you should. So never punished. Correct. I should have just visioned. Am I dead? Why is this tapped? Oh. No, I don't understand why this is tapped. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Dude, if I have like a gut shot, you feel so dumb right here. But this is a tapped Ink Moth. You gonna like sack this and put it on your Ink Moth? I'm so confused. Whoa. I don't understand. You can only hit me for 7 poison anyway, and I have like a blocker in the graveyard. I'm actually beyond baffled as to like why this is happening. If I draw on Abrade, you like can't win. Here's another thing in the ice. I'm so confused. Would you like to graft under my thing in the ice? Like if we're gonna take draw steps here, I'm pretty down for that. Because, like, there's going to be a turn where I can just, like, no matter what you play, I'm going to get value on my thing in the ices, and I'm going to get our Arclight Phoenix back anyway. And, like, I'm just drawing to inevitability through Abrades and stuff. I don't know. That seems like a pretty loose overcommitment when I can just, like, not bust this thing in the ice ever and just keep this in the tank in case you ever decide to do anything. Sure. Okay, that insulates you against Abrade, but not against 2 Thing in the Ices. Although, even still, against Abrade, it buys me an extra turn. Pretty confused as to what their plan is. Yeah. Okay. Opt. Trigger. Blowout! What? What? I just don't understand, chat. I don't understand how that made sense from their side. I went from, like, legitimately scared of their board to just, like, I don't think they had anything that mattered. Like, you know I have a thing in the ice. You know I have, like, a million cards in hand. And a Faithless Looting in the graveyard. Like, I have the spells to flip it. Maybe they just thought the game legitimately wasn't getting better for them. But, like, it's still, I don't even think makes sense to do that kind of thing until you have enough to actually just one-shot me. Like, that doesn't even one-shot me. Like, I can just take that, untap, put a Phoenix in play, and, like, if I can flip both of these, just, like, hit you for 14, like, what's your plan? I don't know. I don't understand how they came to the conclusion that that line was right, but better to be lucky than good, Inferno. That's damn right. I mean, I realize TT's, like, pretty gas against them, but, like, they don't, like, it's going to be insane against them if they always play like that. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Ugh. Just like, yeah, like, also, I can just do exactly what I did, which is just, like, never flip, because the game's just going to get better for me. And, like, eventually I can even just, like, flip the first one, start attacking with it, and then the second one, like, just hold that one back with an I win, and be okay. But, like, I would have to build up enough lands and spells to do that. But, like, the attrition game at that point, when you have only lands and an Inkmoth Nexus, and I have 2 Thing in the Ices in play, it's just, I feel like it's just so good for me. I don't know. I'm kind of beside myself. Well, we're 3-0. Yeah, maybe players just don't know how to play against this deck. Like, Hollow One, we also saw, I think, some pretty questionable decisions out of them. But Thing in the Ice, I mean, has just continually overperformed thus far. Like, just more and more, this deck really should just be called Blue-Red Titties, because the titties are the gas. They're so good. Like, it's the reason to be playing this deck. It took forever for people to figure out, like, how to, like, slot that in. Like, decks like Storm and stuff were playing it in their sideboard for a while. And I think it was played a long time ago with, like, the Pyromancer Ascension deck before Probe got banned. But, like, it really kind of took a long time for people to, like, kind of pick back up that that card is pretty bonkers. And it's just so good against everything that's going on in Modern right now, with the exception, of course, of KCI. And I think we're really kind of seeing a demonstration of that. Like, that's... These games have been wild. They said don't be only can flip at sorcery speed and 2-turn you. And they didn't know I had second thing. Yeah, but, like, the second thing honestly didn't really matter that much. Like, it's just another piece of inevitability. Like, that second thing could have just been in my deck, and they know it's in my deck, and I think it's about as threatening. Because, like, really what they're planning to do there, I feel like, is to just attrition me out until they're, like, tapped out or whatever, and, like, maybe try to grow their Inkmoth bigger. And, like, or, like, try to incentivize me to flip the thing to start getting a clock going, and that way they can just, like, start attacking with their Inkmoth, and, like, I feel, like, pretty dumb for flipping my thing. Now you look at this hand more. 2 free spells, functional mana, well, like, realistically 2 cantrips. This hand feels really on edge. If Gutshot's not a relevant card and they're not a creature deck, I'm not sure that we can win this game. I'm very tempted to mulligan this. Chat, what do you think? Are we mulliganing this? What do we think, chat? The flip is OP when it doesn't hit Arclight. Yeah, no kidding. You're right. Also, by bringing in cards like Tormod's Crypt, Virtue, clearly, yeah, clearly they just had no idea, like, how to actually play against this deck, which I think Ross was talking about in his article, that, like, the deck is powerful because people don't know how to play against it, and he was saying that people are beginning to learn how to play against it, but I'm not even sure that's even true. Are you on the play or draw? I'm on the play. I'd mull this. Yeah, I'm leaning towards mulliganing this. It feels like probably one of the better hands I'm gonna mulligan in my lifetime, but, like, just, like, I don't think this hand does enough. Like, I think we really have to lean on the fact, like, Gutshot's going to be a relevant card to, like, keep this hand. Like, if this were humans, like, in the blind, I knew the matchup was humans, I think I would keep this hand. But I think because I'm in the blind, I just, like, want to mulligan this. Mull if on the play, I would also mull. All right, chat says mull. We're mulliganing. Boop. Bye. Thing in the Ice. Yeah, this hand's just, like, so many leagues better. Look at this. We got 2 threats. Like, this card's good against basically everybody, especially with this card. Like, we can just protect our Swiftspear. We can just, like, NASCAR down faster. We got multiple free spells. This hand is just fantastic. I'm a real big fan. Keep. Big metal fan. Like to keep that on top. Can't because I want to put Monastery Swiftspear in play. Yeah, I just want to put Monastery Swiftspear in play. I think the early damage is going to matter. Kind of an ombo thing, but I think we're going to be a pretty slow to flip thing this game anyway. Opponent in the tank with my fetch land on the stack. You try to smash or nah. Do you just use NASCAR as a verb? NASCAR is a verb. It describes the way to win in Modern. Combat. Yeah. Because Modern is oftentimes just a race to see who can turn 3 each other the fastest. NASCAR is a verb that applies to... Oh, no. Well, I'm glad we mulliganed our first hand. This makes our second hand look pretty mopey. Here's a thing. Although, if it's Jeskai, like, we're pretty bolt resilient, which is, like, pretty nice. I don't know. We probably have to, like, play this game much more conservatively. And, like, being on the mulligan on the play doesn't really help. Like, they have 8 cards in hand right now to our 3. So, but we have 2 things in play, I guess. Search for die. If we draw a land, we might just flip some stuff. Oh, daddy. That means we don't need a land, right? Yep, this is pretty good. I'm a big fan. I think I'm just going to start this turn off by cycling Manamorphose into red. Yeah, whatever. Always yield. Always yield. Sure. Yeah, red. Spirebluff Canal. I'm glad I actually drew that, because that's a card I don't think I want. I don't think I'm going to flip thing this turn. I think we're going to hold this Mutagenic. But I think I want to cast Faithless Looting. So we're going to do it. Boop. Casting magic cards. A second Lightning Bolt is pretty attractive. I also want Serum Visions, but like I want Mutagenic Growth to insulate against like burn spells. Bolt 7, put them to 11. Bolt 10. Oh no, we have Mutagenic, so we can put them dead on board next turn. We can put them dead on board. I'm definitely discarding this land. I'm inclined to think I want this Lightning Bolt. Maybe I actually don't. Bolt to 15, hit you for 4 to 14. Then we can flip TT next turn. Oh no, 4 to 11. Then we can hit you for... We can Mutagenic this thing in the ice. Yeah, I don't think we actually need this extra bolt. Bolt you. Combat. Attack for 4. Kind of awkward this like non-bow synergy here. Because, I mean, obviously if we could Mutagenic, we could hit them for 9 more and they'd be at 2. And like we could keep the other bolt. And like they would just be dead. If this like was a horror. Like if this was a horror, they would literally be dead to the bolt in my hand right now. But unfortunately, we have to like play this kind of game where I'm probably getting desphered. Awkward. That's fine. Target this. I mean, exile target non-land permanent, not named detention sphere, and all the permanents are the same name. There's no way I can like change this thing's name or whatever by flipping it. Yeah, I don't think so. Tilt. Fine, it's gone. All right. Let's see what we got. It was just a fetch first. I could fetch Flashback Looting. Like, we're kind of beginning to run up on... I don't think they have Lightning Bolts, so, like, this card's, like, now probably dead. Except for, like, attacking. I'm gonna fetch and shock. And I think I'm just gonna cast the Serum Visions. Thing in the ice. Want the land on bottom for sure. I can play Thing in the Ice and like flashback this Faithless Looting, which is what I'm thinking about. Gosh, I just don't know if this Thing in the Ice is gonna be good enough. I feel like it is. So I'm gonna put it on top. Go to combat. We can hit them for 5, put them to 6. It's in double bolt range. but it doesn't give me another spell for TT. I'm only gonna hit them for 2, I think. I'm gonna try to like play a little less aggressively, which is awkward because they have a search for Escanta, like their card advantage engine is way better than anything we have going on, but like I just don't know. Like I don't really know what Mutagenic solves for us. I'm gonna hold Spirebluff Canal to discard the Faithless Looting because we do not have Crackling Drake in our main deck. If they Snapcaster Mage, we can Mutagenic, so might be merit to. Yeah, that's fine. So that trades for our Mutagenic and lets us resolve Thing in the Ice safely. Also, burns the Snapcaster Mage on them. I don't know if I should play around Supreme Verdict. I don't think this is enough threat on its own, so I think I have to like just play in a Supreme Verdict, and if they have it, I'm probably dead. I want to hold this land, obviously, for the flashback Faithless Looting. But, like, if they Teferi here, it's just, like, really awkward. There was merit to playing Thing in the Ice pre-combat, but I wanted to make sure I got my hit in before they could, like, hold up counter magic or whatever. Oh, that's awkward. Well, they have Cryptic Command up. Don't particularly care that much. Because this is a flashback, so if they, like, counter tap, it's just, like, fine, because I'm so far from actually flipping this. You don't understand not flipping? Because it picks up my Swiftspear. I wanted to be able to, like, hit with it next turn. Like, they would be, like, 2 lower or whatever. I don't like that. What are you doing? You floated 2 blue, 2 white, and let this resolve. What? Awkward that I feel incentivized to keep this Lightning Axe for this Colonnade. What are you doing? That's fine. Pick up Swiftspear. They'd be dead to bolt here. They'd be 2 lower. 7 another one. They'd be at 5. Right? Oh, I guess you're saying like Mutagenic the Thing in the Ice that turn. Yeah, there's only 2 bolts left in our deck, and we've been through we've only been through 19 cards. That feels pretty low percentage. Terminus. That's fine. I mean, I don't want to like strictly argue, but like I don't know. Picking up the Swiftspear seemed really bad. Didn't like it. I feel like I'm just going to get colonnaded. I'm not colonnaded, Teferi'd if I just flashback looting, but I don't really know what else to do. I guess I have haste threats in my deck, so it's like still fine. I just want to get rid of this land really badly. It's awkward. So awkward. Discard land, Phoenix, and just hope that these 2 ops hit a spell. Because if they don't, then this Teferi they're probably about to play, or this Jace or whatever, is probably going to actually connect with my Phoenix. I mean, is actually going to, like, not get Phoenix down. Yeah, there's Teferi, probably. Sure. Probably just attacking them, to be honest. If we can get it, if we can get things in play. They have Cryptic Command up. But, I mean, it's just obviously very likely we're dead. Boop. Blue-red. Is it Gut Shot? What does that do? I don't know. Ah, that's not a lightning bolt. Get it out. That's a bolt. We just bolt them? I don't have to. Just like gut shot them. Go to combat, get Arclight Phoenix back, and like have all our mana untapped when we go to bolt them. Put them to 6, put them to 3. Sure, I'll spend mana. This is loose, but I feel like it kind of plays around counter magic. That's what I'm trying to beat. Is like make them move on this Arclight Phoenix before I like cast this bolt. I don't know. Because if they tap draw with a cryptic command, I can just like bolt them. Path me. Tilt. That's much better. Yeah. And then I guess on their upkeep we're going to bolt them. Okay. Well, they don't have cryptic command up now. So like bolting them now plays their own cryptic command, otherwise it like taps mana on their turn. What do we like? But giving them a draw step at path term instead of putting them dead to bolt their Phoenix seems more correct. No, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm willing to accept that. 7 plus 3 plus 2 on the turn. If you didn't flip, it's 10, 12. I'm just going to bolt here. Why not? Play around Cryptic Command. Pretty convinced they don't have Cryptic Command. They probably just have a regular 2-mana counter spell. But they get to untap their lands at Teferi anyway, so I just don't think it matters. Just put them to 3. If they count us, we'll concede. It's just a logic knot. Yeah, alright, yeah. Cool. You might be right. You might be right that I punted this game, because, like, if we did... If they were dead to bolt there, like, we drew 3 bolts across that game, so we would have won that game. So, I mean, I'm willing to believe that you were right, Chad, but I think I would want to go back and watch that game again and see what my complete logic was on, like, wanting to hold the Thing in the Ice activation, as well as, like, get my hit in with Swiftspear. Let's see what Ross wants to do. Wants to... So many words. Bring in 1,000,000 counterspells. That seems pretty reasonable. 1,000,000 counterspells. Wants to bring in 2 surgicals to maintain free spells. I don't know if he wants all 3. We'll see. Gutshots and Mutagenics are both pretty bad. So I'm probably cutting both of those. Oh no. Why is this such a struggle? 1 bolt, 2 Thing in the Ice. Alright, that seems calculated. Not really sure about that. Thing in the Lava Axe stays in for Lyras and Colonnades. What am I missing? There's a card that like is not lining up here. Oh, we had 3 Gutshots? But no, that's counted for. What the heck? We had to put these in our deck, put this in our deck, put the counter spells in our deck, and this. So normally it was like these versus like these. There's 1 up there. I don't understand why this doesn't line up. 4, 5, 6. Huh. I don't know. I mean, if he doesn't like Lightning Bolt, do we want to just shave another one of those? I don't want to shave another TT. What do I want to cut? Lightning Axe or bolting your Phoenix there might have been okay. That might have been true. I mean, they're just going to counter the bolt again, right? Lightning Axe might have been okay, though. It's kind of the worst threat. Yeah, I think it's like easily the worst threat. But I don't think we want to shave another threat. I think bolts are pretty fine. If they're going to bring in Rest in Peace, maybe we're supposed to cut like a Thought Scour. I'm going to do that. I'm going to shave 1 Thought Scour. Probably nonsense. Willing to accept it's nonsense. But it seems like a fine hedge against like what little graveyard hate like they have. Just like the worst cantrip under that situation. I think this hand's really good. Like this hand plays the fair game pretty well. Our opponent's already on almost 6, so I think this game's gonna look pretty different from how the other game works, because like we don't have to try to make all of those like really aggressive cards valuable because they're just not in our deck anymore, so we can afford to grind a little harder until they actually stick an engine, and then we have to like turn the corner with damage. I think we're gonna lead on Thought Scour first because we don't really have something specific we're looking for at the moment. We're still gonna move cards around. 2 Spirebluff Canals, sure. Thing in the Ice. Sure. Alright. I think the only thing we'd want to counter on turn 2 is their Search for Azcanta. I'm not even sure I want to counter it that badly. Like now we get to hold up like Spell Pierce for Path or whatever. 3 Manamorphoses. Sure. I mean, we need to hit land drops. Manamorphose. Looking for a blue land. Blue land, please. Blue red. Swiftspear. We did not hit my blue land. Okay. I'm just gonna cast another one. Flip this boy. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna try to flip it. The thing is, I want to try to hold up Spell Pierce for this Path to Exile so we can actually connect with it. Blue lands. Another Swiftspear. Okay. They're probably going to move here, I feel like. The thing is, if they move here, we just go red, red, and play both Swiftspears. I think I'm going to make blue, red again. Yeah. Blue land. Tilt. They're going to wait till the mana drains my pool anyway, so I should just opt. Yeah, I should just opt. It's awkward that we didn't draw like a blue land. That's kind of tilting. Yeah, like we could Spell Pierce here if we did. Crap. Ugh. Gross. Okay. I mean, it didn't really cost us anything, but it's still kind of frustrating that like our turn could have been much better. There he is. I found it, chat. I just don't really want this land. Although I guess this let us cast Arclight and 2 Swiftspears this turn. Although it gets us blown out by Terminus. I'm bottoming this. There's so many better draws. Now that they actually pathed us, I feel fine bottoming lands. Okay. That was like a pretty awkward turn. Maybe I was supposed to bolt. Like if they're gonna path there, like I figured if I had blue up, they're just like not gonna path till combat and like let the mana drain from my mana pool, which would be correct. That's awkward. Might just play Phoenix here. That way, if it gets countered, I just like don't really care. But I can also hold up Spell Pierce for like snap path. Playing this land might have been bad because like I could Manamorphose into Faithless Looting. I didn't fully think out my turn before playing this land. I was pretty sure I was gonna play this land no matter what, and I think I'm now wrong. You need the blue to try to hit the land. Then you're golden. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to blue instead of like blue-red. So this was Spear. Right? Yeah, that might have been correct. I'm willing to see that might have been correct. I just didn't think they were pathing there. Like, I was literally 100% that like my Manamorphose mana, like whatever mana I make off Manamorphose, is going to leave my pool. Before they're even going to try to path it. So I was like, Manamorphosing is fine. And like this opt is going to be fine because they're just going to wait till combat. But they did not. And it didn't really make sense why not. Like, they could have pathed at any point during the chain if they were going to path like that. They actually, like, if they're going to path in that moment, they should just path in response to, like, the second spell or whatever. I don't know. I think my opponent playing worse isn't a reason for me to have played worse. Because, like, I hit, like, a Faithless Looting there to discard Phoenix. I just, like, feel a lot smarter as well. I need to decide what I'm doing. I'm probably just going to time out in this particular game, unfortunately. Can't really beat a Terminus. I feel incentivized to just cast Arclight Phoenix. If they path it, like, whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cast Arclight Phoenix. The fair way. like we still have 2 threats, so they can't really stick like a Jace next turn. We have a Bolt for Jace anyway. Like, yeah, like countering Arclight Phoenix is a deal. that'll be a deal for me, dog. And if they just like path this, untap Jace Brainstorm, we still have the Bolt for it. And the fact we get to get like Phoenix back or whatever. So we're still not even in bad shape. We have like a million ways to punish Jace. I'd be surprised if the Walkers are still in their deck. Colonnades. Getting mana like out of him feels good. Yeah, no, that was an insane exchange for me. Being able to like this. I wanted this basically in the graveyard anyway, right? But what are you doing? Surgical target Phoenix. I mean, I don't have any more Phoenixes in my hand. I feel incentivized to op in case I hit Dispel, and that would like basically get me really close, and like it pumps my Swiftspear anyway. I think I'm gonna opt to try to find Dispel. 15. Is that even something I'm interested in doing? Maybe I just don't care. What do we think, chat? Do I want to try to find the one of Dispel? Could also find one of my Surgicals, and Surgical effectively counters it by just removing it, and I get to keep the other 3 in deck. What do we think? What do we think, chat? A second Spell Pierce also technically counters it, but that's like pretty bad. You want to opt. Alright. Do you want to Manamorphose? Because I kind of want to get this in play before I start casting these cantrips. Maybe that's just bad. I'm gonna opt. Ooh, this deck is so hard. I'm going to have to play so much faster in paper. Faithless Looting. I don't think that's what we're looking for. Dispel. Faithless Looting. Pretty sure I put this on bottom. I'm not Manamorphosing here. I'm just going to let that happen. Everybody wants to opt? Yeah, we opted. I don't think I want to burn the Manamorphose, though. I think opting for it was fine. I think Manamorphosing for it is a mistake. Going to play a second Swiftspear, I think, this turn. Because we can successfully get it around Terminus this turn. Doesn't really say much for the next turn, though. I do want to keep Spell Pierce up. So, I'm probably just going to play Arclight. I mean, play Swiftspear and pass, I think. I could Faithless Looting, but I kind of want all of these cards. I don't really have something I want to discard. So, I'll be alright. It'll be alright. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and play the second one. Like I said, we have Spell Pierce Installation against Terminus this turn. What is this? Playing into the Spell Pierce? If you counter this, I'm 100% letting this happen. I do, like, it just means they're probably trying to bait out this Spell Pierce, and I'm not particularly interested in doing that. Like, in burning the Spell Pierce. Yeah, like, them tapping like this, I don't think makes any sense unless they just really want me to Spell Pierce it. I'm not doing it. I'm not. Just not. I want to hold up Spell Pierce for the Planeswalkers anyway. Like, they get to Teferi minus on my Monastery Swiftspear or whatever. Or just plus. I don't know. I think getting a Logic Knot for a Swiftspear, especially when they could, like, clearly could have just Logic Knotted it without, like, around Spell Pierce, right? I know they couldn't have. So they just wanted to tap out and get me a Spell Pierce it. I still don't want to Spell Pierce it. There's too many sleepers in the deck. Well, Spell Pierce is, like, pretty quickly expiring. This card should probably target them now. Thought Scour them. Well, that gives them more options for their Snapcaster mages. I'm just going to Thought Scour myself. Crackling Drake? What a tilt. No, I have a Faithless Looting. I want to discard a Faithless Looting, something to cast it. Still have Spell Pierce for Snap Path. Land Looting's pretty easy discard. Combat. Not sure I want to cast this Opt. Crackling Drake. Yeah, I mean, Milling Crackling Drake's kind of a tilt. Like, it's kind of weird, because, like, if they have a Snapcaster, like, I'm giving them more targets to snap Surgical, I guess. If they don't have a I'm sorry, if they, like, target them, then they should have more, like, more food for their Snapcaster, so it's just, like, a really awkward spot to be in. And their Logic Knots, like, they have Delve cards in their deck. Just, like, not really sure who I want to Thought Scour. I'm willing to Spell Pierce this. I think I am. Like, this 100% means we're getting Planeswalkered, but, like, just, like, Corrupted Command is good enough, and we have a Lightning Bolt for a Planeswalker, so, like, if they Teferi minus, like, we still have the Lightning Bolt back up. Or they just don't. I don't really understand why you're casting all these spells into my Spell Pierce then. But, what do I know? They have Colonnade up now. They have one card in hand. I kind of want to attack. Oh my gosh. I want to play so badly. I want to, like, attack, incentivize them to block, and then second main, like, Hail Mary and Manamorphose for a land to, like, Ral minus on their Celestial Colonnade, and if we miss, we just bolt it. Talk me out of being terrible. Talk me out of that line. That line's got to be bad. Gosh, all these cards are so good. Feels Drake. Yeah, Thought Scour has to be correct. Yeah, it does feel Drake. That's correct. So you're probably right then. You're probably right that it, like, I don't know, it feels the Drake. The thing is, there's nothing we want to mill, which is always awkward, and, like, we don't even have Delve threats to really take advantage of it. I guess we have, like, Faithless Looting, which are fine to mill. I really need to make a decision here. Sure, why not? We'll make the play. I doubt they're blocking, but that's fine. If they don't block, we can just, like, opt in step. Or opt now. Opt now. Second main, opt. Try to find the land. We found it. Put this on top. Play land and pass the turn. I want to see what their last few cards are before... Well, there's a second Colonnade. This ticks up to 6. Alright, let's fetch. So we're less likely to draw another land because we just, like, never want to draw another land. Oh, I should have done the math. Awkward. Awkward. 100% was not looking. Just assumed I had another target. Do not. Is there any lands left in the deck that, like, are remotely fetchable? Like, could I fetch a mountain here? 1, 2. Oh, there's the last Demon's Tilt. Yeah, I guess there's, like, one basic mountain in the deck. Alright, we'll make the same attack. Boop. I think we're going to flashback a Looting second main. They still have one card in hand. I don't know what it is. And I'm just going to try to find, like, a Spirebluff Canal or something. I think there's 2 of them in the graveyard. Blech. I'm such a forehead. I 100% thought there was, like, another island for this. But there's the island, there's the steam vents. I was like, yeah, I think there's another land. Are they countering this? No way. Cryptic Command, counter draw. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Countering the flashback on a Faithless Looting is pretty attractive. The Field of Ruin is fine. I wonder if the Field of Ruin, thinking that I don't have any more lands, it's just strip mine. Alright. They have a 1 blind card. We hit the land. Like professionals. Combat. Attack. They still have not blocked with Colonnade. I think they're going to do so now. Boop. Okay. We'll let them block. Alright, we have to cast 1, 2. That can get it to 3, so we need a 3rd spell. We just need another instant speed spell. Alright, I'm going for it. We're trying for it. Gotta be brave. Hiya! Good card. Blue, red. Tilt. Okay. And then I'm going to try to bolt their last one, I think. Yeah. Lightning Bolt the Colonnade. Hopefully this draws out a counterspell. It did. Though not the counterspell that counters Ral, so what a tilt. Hey Dylan, how goes it? I appreciate the host. How was your stream? Did they draw a Planeswalker? Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's just a Colonnade. I hope your stream was nice. We are probably dying to blue-white, especially because this is game 2 and I have 5 minutes left on the clock. I've spent a lot of time thinking and talking, so it's like really no one to blame but myself. Pretty attracted into Swiftspear looting, flashback looting here. I have to play like so much faster. Like I've like been like thinking way too long on some of these decisions. Flashback looting. We're just looking for lightning bolts at this point in time, I think. Oh my god, what did you draw? Celestial Purge? My gosh. Alright, fine. Blech. That was a good draw. Alright, I don't really want either of these cards. So we're probably going to cast this Faithless Looting as well. Thing in the ice. You're timely, buddy. I think we're going to die to this Colonnade before we get a chance to flip this thing. Field of Ruin. I think we have a mountain in our deck. Do we just discard the only mountain? Yeah, I think we might actually not have a land. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and concede. That was 100% my own misplay. I've never played this matchup, and I think I played real bad. Don't hate me, chat. I tried. I tried real hard. That's why I'm here testing and not trying to stumble through it in Columbus. Anyway, how goes everyone? The thing is, like, I think that being more aggressive there would have been pretty bad because of the Colonnades. Like, if I'm playing things, like, I wanted to, like, represent a lot of spells there with my mana, attacking like that with a Swiftspear into the Colonnades. I seriously actually did think they would block even after they had a second one. I thought they were going to attack. I think when they didn't attacking with my Swiftspear again was wrong, because that probably signals that they're just, like, trying to block. But, like, I think that they should have started attacking with their Colonnades, especially when they had a second one. And so being in that position, I was, like, kind of trying to think about that and like make them a little bit more worried about it, especially knowing Lava Axes in my deck. Maybe it's just like my logic. I was like completely on a different level, but and like I said, I think that might also just be not really knowing my role in this matchup. Thank you very much for the follow, Lime Turtle. I appreciate it. You're the best. But I think that might just be me not knowing my role in that particular matchup, because I think we have to play pretty differently in that matchup than this deck normally does, and making that adjustment there, like in like what my second league I think I played with this deck was not very intuitive for me. So that's something that like clearly I would need to work on and would need to like play through again. Probably gonna go back and watch that match again, just like kind of highlight how like to win that game, especially game 1 where like I think I missed enough damage. This hand is great. I don't know. I'm still looking at it. Boop. Missing a lot of 1s and 2 points. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like I missed a lot of 1s and 2 points over the course of that game, and I think that really cost me. Anyway, thank you very much for the host there, Dylan. If you're in my chat and you're not from Dylan's stream, make sure you give him a follow. He's been really supportive of me, and I have tried my best to be as supportive as possible to him too. Hopefully, you're playing in Spirits because I feel like that matchup's really good. And yeah, he's just great. So you should check him out. Check out his stream. He's gas. Dylan, are you gonna be in Columbus? I don't actually know. Love you, boo. We have a pretty good next turn lined up. Swiftspear's like pretty bad against this deck, so I'm not really going to go all in on the Swiftspear plan. I want to try to find a thing in the ice. But I'm a little scared of, what's it called? Mausoleum Wanderer? Attack on Brandon. Rip Brandon. Why would you attack Brandon? Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, how much do I want to play around Mausoleum Wanderer? It's kind of a decision to make, right? I don't think they have a Path to Exile. I want to be able to bolt it, but if they have Mausoleum Wanderer, like, I can't bolt it and get it around the activation. So, like, I could just, like, start firing off some cantrips here and try to set up to definitely kill it next turn. This is weird. I think I'm gonna try to incentivize them to counter it by playing Visions. Yeah, I don't really like that either. Like, I don't like playing Manamorphose that much either. I'm not. Dog's got some health issues. That sucks, man. I hope that gets better. Serum play land attack and see if they block. Yeah, I think we're supposed to fetch an untapped blue source here, though. Like, I'm gonna... Let's see. I don't think I want the land. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way. Lodging Kong. I really appreciate it the best. Yeah, put that on top. Combat. We have a Thought Scour that we can now cast. So, I mean, there's just 0% to block. I just think I'm going to wait till this gets ticked up to 2. So we'll just put a stop on their upkeep. And try to bolt it. Either in response to an activation on Instepped, or after it gets ticked up to 2 on this turn. Like, this gets us blown up by Rattle Chains, I think. And Supreme. I mean, and Selfless Spirit. But I'm more willing to trade my card with those cards, I think. And we still don't get gotten by SCGCOL Captain. So I think this is my spot. Even, like, if they have those cards, I don't think I feel bad about it. Rattle Chains feels the worst, but Selfless Spirit feels fine. And, like, they're actually pretty low on Rattle Chains from what I've seen. Oh, no, I didn't even think about that at all. Image actually also blows me out. Uh-oh. Alright, yeah, that was probably a punt. I didn't think about Supreme Phantom or Image. Because I was like, yeah, the Rattle Chains and Selfless Spirit, I think are the only 2 drops that save them. This match is probably going to be hard at this point in time. Like, after throwing away my Lightning Bolt like that, playing badly. Yeah, I think that this game's going to be a hard one to win. We have to basically hit Thing in the Ice pretty quickly. Although it looks like they actually don't have another land or another Lord. Like, they would play another Lord main phase here. Or they would even play, like, their Selfless Spirits, I think, as well. So, I don't think... What? Oh, you have Queller. Sure. Yeah. Played like an idiot. That's what Spirits is good against. Me playing bad. Swiftspear is still easily the worst threat, so I think it's time to just find a Thing in the Ice. I think if they were them, I would spell Queller this. Thing in the Ice, please. That's a Lightning Axe. That's not unreasonable. The thing is, there's no real way to get it around the Spell Queller they pretty clearly have. Put on top. Let's see. We're going to Faithless Looting. Let's see if they Queller this. I feel like this is a pretty attractive Queller target. If they don't Queller this, I'm going to legitimately consider Lightning Axing. Alright, yeah. They have 2 cards left, so we're going to take a hit for $1 billion. We can't actually trade, so we should put the land in tapped. And then next turn we get to, like, Morphose, like, Lightning Axe. Like, we're going to take a hit for $1 million here. We get to, like, Lightning Axe a Lord. Because I don't think I care about the Faithless Looting. So we get to Lightning Axe a Lord. And Faithless Looting. And obviously if they have SCGCOL Captain, we're just dead here. This is a SCGCOL Captain. I will concede. Reflector Range? I can beat that. The card does not actually matter. What's up? When you're looking for threats, I don't like keeping things like Serum Visions on top. Well, that's the thing, is like, I think a Serum Visions is better than a random draw when I'm looking for threats by a fair margin, especially when I have Manamorphose in my hand. Like, maybe if I didn't have any other things in my hand, I would be much more incentivized, I think, to... Alright, they have no cards now. Well, that makes things a little different, maybe. We need a Thing in the Ice here soon, but I think if I didn't have Manamorphoses in my hands, it would be maybe a different story, but I think with the way this game has shaped up, I like leaving the Serum Visions on top. There's a lot to work through, but I don't think this is insurmountable. Because, like, after we axe a Phantom, they can't attack with Queller. If we find Lightning Bolt, we feel really smart and thin. I don't really want to put this back into play because I don't think this card's very good against them at all. So I kind of want to just hold it. Kind of want to start casting Manamorphoses, try to get some more Phoenixes into play. Because, like, just lightning acting this is a pretty low impact turn. Maybe that's just bad. How many cards have we been through and not seen a thing in the ice? We've been through quite a number. I'm going to Manamorphose. Casting spells. That's what I came here to do. I'm casting spells. I've decided. We're casting spells. That's a good one. Thing is, can we live? We can... Gosh, if we hit a land... Now I feel incentivized to kill the Spell Queller because everything else is not very aggressive, but Reflector Mage being there is actually kind of a pain. And, like, picking up Reflector Mage with Thing in the Ice makes me feel really stupid. Maybe we're not in the clear. We take 8 in the air. We go to 1, and they have this, and, like, so they have 2 draw steps and a Lord. So we're supposed to Thing in the Ice for sure, I think. I don't think I want to cast this. Because I just want to remove a counter faster. And, like, I kind of want to Lightning Axe this just to, like, save damage. Like, Lightning Axe this, move through my deck faster. I'm just going to cast it, I think. Yeah. Want to get these triggers, like, not super worried about getting my Arclight Phoenix back because I just don't think that card matters that much right now. And my intention is to try to, like, find a Lightning Bolt and cast that on Reflector Mage and then, like, try to pick everything else up and just, like, kind of race. So, like, obviously I want to pad my life total, and that's, like, perfect. Like, I can get rid of, like, land, Swiftspear, and, like, keep Bolt and Thing in the Ice. And I think we're actually in pretty good shape now. We get Arclight back anyway because I'm a professional. And we can block with this Arclight. Maybe I wasn't supposed to get it back. I think we're blocking with this Arclight. So I can, like, flashback looting or whatever I need to do. And if they draw a Lord, I just feel really dumb. So I think having this Arclight to block makes a lot of sense. Even though it just, like, kind of gets eaten, it preserves life total. Good luck in Columbus. I'm crashing. All right, good night, Dylan. Thank you very much for the host. I appreciate it. You're the best. This has been, like, kind of a harder stream on me because, like, this is, like, a pretty hard deck to play, and I'm trying not to completely mess it up. Like, I'm trying to get legitimate testing, which means I'm interacting with the chat a little bit less. I apologize to those of you in chat, like, the breaks I'm taking. Uh-oh, what is that? Is this going to be a Lord? A Reflector Mage? Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's awkward. Reflector Mage, I think, makes this game pretty hard to win. Okay. I guess now I just take the hit. Maybe block there. Like, if I can trade. Yeah, I think trading is much better. Yeah, I'm going to block here. I'm going to trade, take 4, go to 5. And I need to live on the next turn. Take 4 more, go to 1. That was a good draw. Phantasmal Image and a Horizon Canopy was a good series. So we can get Arclight back probably. I don't know if that's good. Thing in the Ice. If we hit more birds, it actually makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna Thought Scour myself and try to hit some birds. We did not hit birds. Bottom this. I think I'm going to bolt the Reflector Mage copy just to get a Phoenix back to block again. Yeah, put this on top because it's another spell to cast. I'm actually going to put this on top because it's another spell to cast. Alright, and then we're going to bolt this Reflector Mage copy just to get my Phoenix back and block again. Just like, once again, preserving life total, trying to get a thing in the ice in play. And if we can draw a land, I think we're pretty likely to be able to flip thing in the ice. Just like we have 3 spells already ready to go. And we'd need to draw like a single 1-mana spell across all of the like things we're casting. But that's only if we draw a land, clearly. What if we attack for 3 there, put him to 7? I don't think that's good enough. Because I'm planning on blocking again, so hopefully it'll come back on the thing in the ice turn. We need an insane sequence of draws, but I actually don't think we're out of this game. Like, we need them to draw bad, we need to draw great, but like I think we're not dead in the water like I kind of thought we were on turn 2 or whatever when I messed up this interaction, which obviously we've just taken 1 billion damage for that mistake. But like, I think that, wow, the 3rd canopy. Oh no. What is this? Cracking a canopy? That's a good sign. But we need them to whiff on so many things. We need them to whiff on like lords in every shape, form, and fashion. We need them to whiff on like Spell Queller for my thing in the ice. Even Mausoleum Wanderer would be a little annoying. So, like I said, we're just like asking a lot out of them to like miss on all of that stuff. What is this? Selfless Spirit? That's fine. That gets picked up by thing in the ice. If we're gonna win this game, that card's not going to matter. Gut shots. This is awkward. Everything has been awkward. Every sequence is awkward. Yeah, I mean, we just need to hit a land in 1 step, right? Yeah, we need to hit a land in 1 step off Manamorphose. It needs to be like an untapped land. It needs to be like a real good land because we need to be able to gut shot, I think. It needs to be like a basic land. Another thing in the ice. Alright, well, I think we're dead. Let's make sure. A bunch of birds, I think, is now my out. So let's put a thing in the ice into play. We can like Faithless Looting into like a bunch of birds, technically. It needs to be like multiple birds. Alright, we'll put the thing in the ice into play. And go for the looting. Multiple birds. Multiple birds. Need a lot of birds. Birds. We didn't even get a land. No! Alright, yeah, you got me. We're dead. Dang. So many moving parts. Like, I'm still 5 minutes behind, and I think I, like, played that game even faster. Hopefully this goes faster in paper. Alright, let's see what we're doing now. Visions is the highest chance for multiple birds. Wait, did you want to... Oh, did you want to vision and, like, not even play the thing in the ice at all there? Maybe that's good. Like, we had a chance to get a 2nd bird, and then we get to, like, block Selfless Spirit, go to 1. But, like, I don't really know what our path to victory is there. I think we needed to get thing in the ice into play and just, like, hope to hit. I don't think the 1 or... What is it, the... I guess it's technically 3 extra cards to look at is, like... I don't think, like, getting 3 extra looks is better than getting a counter off the thing in the ice and, like, planning to flip a thing in the ice in that next turn and actually try to, like, get them dead. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I think we have to, like, hope to flip this thing, like, in a reasonable, timely fashion to actually win that game. At the point at which I was that far behind. Alright. Ross likes cutting Thought Scours, likes cutting Monastery Swiftspears, and likes cutting... I think that's it. But we have Rending Volley and 2 Abrades. And he had, he kept the Crackling Drakes in the deck, so I feel incentivized to bring in the Crackling Drakes over the other 2 Monastery Swiftspears. Like, once again, we kind of got to see how bad they are against the 1/3 attacker, right? Like, it's just, like, really miserable. So, I think they're going to bring in Rest in Peace against us, so, like, this card gets better. I think also... maybe Mutagenic makes Swiftspear a little more reasonable of a threat. I don't know. I don't really know the way I want to, like, have these cards in my deck. Because we had 4, whereas Ross's original list only had 2. So, like, the clear plan of, like, get the bad attacker out of the way and, you know, cut some Thought Scours made a little bit more sense. Whereas we have less cards for spirits than he had before. I mean, the thing is irrelevant on that turn, but I think thing was not irrelevant for our plan to win the game, right, Ela Girl? Let's... What about cutting that? What about, like, leaving 2 Swiftspears in the deck? I'll do some nonsense where I leave, like, 1 Thought Scour and 1 Swiftspear in the deck. Just, like... I think we're going to have a lot of bad cards, I think. Actually, I think Thought Scour is a little better than Swiftspear, so I'm just going to cut the Swiftspear. They're bringing in Tholies against this, too, but we have Infinity removal for that. So, I'm not that worried about it. Yes. Wait. Did we have... Yeah, we had all 4 in the sideboard. I didn't see the last one. Thing in the ice with Serum Visions with a Bolt and a Rending Volley. I think it's hard to mulligan this. He would have to be pretty far-fetched to convince me to mulligan this. Sounds pretty good. This deck is really, really hard. When did Modern get very, like, hard? I just want to kill him. I don't want to have to, like, piece all these things together. No, it's actually fun. This deck's, like, a lot of fun, but... Oh, no. None of these are red sources. Gosh. None of these being red sources is, like, pretty tilting. Like, I really... Like, if this was a red source, this should be the best thing in the world. But instead, it's, like, the second of 3 islands. I think we have to top it anyway, right? Are we bottoming this, chat? Topping and bottoming this island. Like, I think we need a red source to play Magic. And if we don't draw the red source in the following turn, we should have, like, 2 things in the ices in play with, like, no red source. Maybe that's, like, fine, because we can just put the second thing in the ice into play. Like, the second island might be incrementally better than a random draw, especially if we're, like, going to miss. Like, assuming the next card's a miss, we get to play 2 things in the ices. No matter what, this is going on bottom. I think we can all agree on that. I don't know if we're supposed to bottom this island. I think there's actually a good chance we get Path, so I'm actually going to put this on top. Alright, go. Alright, roast me in chat. Roast me in chat. Ugh, those of you on YouTube, roast me on YouTube. I think topping that island was fine. We have an extra draw step because of Thing in the Ices. Like, we can just play another Thing in the Ice and, like, still go off with this Manamorphose and, like, all these red spells once we get to, like, Manamorphose into double red. My opponent moving to discards. Wait, what? Did I just put this on bottom, too? Oh, no. They just, like, took forever. Wait, what just happened there? Did I miss something? How did I get this? What did I just miss? There's the island. Oh, no, I just, like, it just lagged forever and, like, moved it over. I was like, did I just, like, draw Manamorphose? No, I'm just really dumb. They took forever to F6, and I took forever to move the thing over because Moto's lagging. Okay. Dude, holy cow, I just had, like, a strange moment. Are you playing Mono Red Flappy Boys tonight, too? Nah, I don't think I'm playing Mono Red. I'm going to play the version with white, and it has Bedlam Revelers over Crackling Drakes. So, like, and I think there's a couple other changes. Like, it doesn't have Mutagenic Growth. It has the whites for Stony Silence in the sideboard. Another Thing in the Ice. Well, we've got a plan. Yeah, clearly we just need a red source. Don't think they have the path, but that's okay. I think we're a red source away from being in a pretty good shape. Although them having Aether Vial is pretty frustrating for, like, Thing in the Ice turns. Three mana. I guess it's a Reflector Mage. Draw Skull Captain. That makes a lot of sense. Oh no, we're gonna take 1,000,000. We might just get, like, 2-0'd by Spirits here if we don't draw this red source. Although, mostly to my own fault. Hey, ding. Alright, 2 mana is good. Fetch. Yeah, Mountain's fine. Manamorphose. Boop. Going to always yield to these. Make red red. So we can Faithless Looting and get a Phoenix in play. I want to try to Bolt Rending Volley though. Talk me out of that. Bolt Rending Volley, then we get to, like, Faithless Looting. Next turn. Question is whether or not I want to Arclight and play this turn. Alright, I'm gonna trade for some of their spirits, I think. Let's see. I'll lead on Bolt, because I think Rending Volley is a little better. Just try to Bolt this. And, like, no matter what, I think we're going to trade for a Spirit here. There's no way they let this happen. They're going to sack Selfless Spirit, and in response, we're going to Rending Volley, I think. Rending Volley, and if they have a 2-drop, I think they would have already gone for it. So I'm going to assume they don't have the 2-drop to blow me out. All right, cool. So we got to pick both of their guys off, put us down to 2 Thing in the Ices that are a counter away from flipping, and we have a spell in hand. So we're in a pretty good spot. Even if they path us, we're still in a really good spot. If they Reflector Mage us, we're still in a fine spot. Like, not being able to cast the last Thing in the Ice in the hand's a little more tilting, and, like, not getting the land to cast the Arclight Phoenix would be kind of rough. And this is their Collected Company turn. Provided they have it. Supreme Phantom's fine. Another Aether Vial is definitely fine. They have 2 cards left. I think we're just going to flip these things. Boop. Cast Faithless Looting. Flip my things. Probably get Reflector Maged at this point. If they have a Reflector Mage, they're going to use it here, I suspect. Boop. Draw 2 cards. Get Reflector Maged. Oh. Queller? Oh, that's fine. Combat. Attack with all creatures. Alright. I'm going to put another thing in play. They don't play sweepers, so I think it's fine to do this. And, like, obviously, if they chop block, we get to, like, cast spells off of, like, we get to cast Faithless Looting off the spell Queller, and it removes a counter. Also, if they Reflector Mage us, we're not trapped with this in hand, so I think running this out is fine. They're going to need a hell of a turn. They ticked it up to 4? What? What? Okay. Alright, I guess we're playing Magic. Alright, I mean, I like the configuration of that deck. We drew a million Thing in the Ices. They were great. More at 11. Next game. Is that the sassy Sasser? What's going on, Teddy? You can Looting into Manamorphose and do it all. Reflector Mage rips you with that Vial on 3. They would Reflector Mage you in response to the flip and get it back and do it again. Oh, yeah, that's way smarter. Look at you. I mean, I don't think we're playing around Reflector Mage there. Like, we at least get them for 7. I'm glad it was a Spell Queller, not a Reflector Mage, clearly. But, like, our hand was pretty set on one thing. We had a million Thing in the Ices. Like, our plan was to Thing in the Ice people. That's what we did. This hand is awkward. Faithless Looting moves through these lands, which is interesting. Like, I'm actually pretty tempted to keep this because Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting is the modern Brainstorm, right? This hand is really interesting to me. So we get the Serum Visions on 1. It's, like, kind of slow, and, like, if they have a Thalia in hand, we look really stupid. It has no threat. So we need threat. We need threats and removal, I think. But we have 3 cantrips to do it. Like, and Faithless Looting can mitigate some of these lands. But they're on the play and could have Thalia. They get a Mausoleum Wanderer and a Thalia, and I just feel really dumb. I'm keeping this hand. I can't talk myself into mulliganing this. I think my average 6 is going to be far worse. That's fine. I would keep this. Alright, Sevdem. Thank you for making me feel better. Hopefully your presence does not prevent my top 32 in the Classic. Oh, you know I'm coming to win the Classic. You know that's what I do. That's my brand. Arclight Phoenix. That makes me want to just like, go ahead and Faithless Looting now. Hey, Ela Girl, thank you much for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm dropping a follow for deck choices. Keep grinding it up. Gotta sleep. It's like 3 a.m. here. Oh, well, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. I'll have the this league and the second league up on YouTube, so you can catch the rest of it whenever you're free. I only stream once a week, so there should be plenty of time where you're not watching me to catch up. I'm just playing. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. Yeah, if I get like Thalia'd, also like Faithless Looting gives me the most like looks at a gut shot this turn. Yeah, I lied. I'm Serum Visioning. I'm Serum Visioning. Thing in the Ice. Well, that got a lot easier. Boop. Boop. Alright. See, this hand's, like, already better. And, like, we're actually, like, kind of okay against Thalia because we have a million lands and a thing in the ice. And that just, like, plays well against Thalia, to be honest. So, I feel pretty fine with this hand. If they just play a Drogskol Captain here, I'm pretty okay with that. A Geist of St. Traft, less okay with that, but still okay with it. I'm willing to take a hit for 7 to get my thing in the ice in play. Actually, I'm just blocking, I think, right? So I'm only taking a hit for 4. It's even better. That's so good. Well, if they flash in a Lord, I feel really dumb. I'm glad they don't have Aether Vial this game. Thing in the ice gets much better when they have, if they don't have Aether Vial. If they path me, it gets a little more weird, but I think it's nice because we'll be able to get rid of these lands a little bit easier. Like, we're probably getting pathed here. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's go grab an island. And now we can, like, looting away, like, this Spirebluff Canal at least. Probably this Scalding Tarn as well. Although we have this Arclight Phoenix to get rid of. We take 7. This card appears pretty good against my deck. But I think we can actually block it okay, so maybe it's not. Interesting that they use their Hierarch. They have no access to blue mana now. Selfless Spirit. Alright, that's fine. Boop. Draw. Okay, I'm going to lead off with an Opt, I think. And then I'm going to, like, just look for more Phoenixes. Put this on top. I don't know what good it actually does. Put this on top of the library. I guess it's just a good spell for later. I'm gonna opt again. Once again, looking for Phoenixes. I don't think I want that one. Oh geez. Faithless Looting. We're gonna flashback looting almost certainly. Oh wow. Phoenix, land, play this. Let's Thought Scour to try to hit more Phoenixes. Did we hit? We did not, but we did Crackling Drake. That's pretty nice. Okay. So we get to play Crackling Drake next turn. The thing is, I'm worried we might just get tempoed out by this Geist. We're definitely blocking with this. And not having Anger is like really rough here. Probably supposed to block the Selfless Spirit, to be honest with you. They may not even attack with it, just attack with this. But I think I'm probably blocking with the Selfless Spirit. I mean, probably blocking the Selfless Spirit. Just because, I don't know. No, that doesn't do anything, right? Because they don't care if they trade. So yeah, I have to block the Geist. I don't know what I'm thinking. I think I'm thinking, like, if they have, like, a Lord, it's really awkward. So I have to, like, block here and then try to get this in play to block this. They have another path. We're just not in good shape. Yeah, here's the Lord. So now we do actually want to block Selfless Spirit if they attack with it, right? No, they're likely to only attack with Geist, I guess. Because it hits for so much. Oh no! Well, I think we still have to block to mitigate damage. But I think we're probably dead. We look dead. We drew a lot of lands off of our cantrips, and, like, we just need a lot to go right for us not to be dead. They have one card left. I don't know if it starts with Thing in the Ice. Or, like, these Manamorphoses. Like, if I play Crackling Drake, am I just dead? They can attack for, like, 79. Yeah, I'm actually just dead, so I have to find removal. Alright. We have a flashback looting at our disposal, and we have a bunch of Manamorphoses. I think this one's going to go red-red. Arclight Phoenix. That lets me put another Phoenix in play. Cast this Manamorphose using the red-red. I'm going to blue-red here. Train! Choo! Of course there's Thing in the Ice. Timely, buddy. I'm a flashback looting, trying to find a removal spell. That is kind of a removal spell. Let's discard this and this. We still have a land to play for turn. I'm going to cast a Faithless Looting. more Phoenixes, more removal spells. All of these are fine. Phoenix, another land. Alright. I don't know what this looks like now. I think we're just supposed to go to combat and get both of these Phoenixes back. Yeah. Let's see. And then, like, this makes their attacks a little worse. We get to block with more Phoenixes. Then our plan is, like, next turn, like, Thing in the Ice, Faithless Looting. Try to, like, Gutshot Mutagenic or whatever. Hopefully we can preserve enough life total for that to, like, actually work. I think they're incentivized to just attack with Geist here again. And if they do that, we're not going to go for the... Like, I think they want us to try to double block so they can sack Selfless Spirit. Oh, no. Is this a collected company? Bleh. No! Okay. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. But, yeah, I think they're going to, like, want to get us to attack with just... Oh, well, never mind. Now this gets really, really hard. Okay. Let's see if we can survive. To try to Thing in the Ice. You survive with, like, a fair amount of life. We go to blocks. We'll kill that. Alright, yep. We'll block here, I believe is correct. Currently taking 8, going to 1. If they sack Selfless Spirit to save both of these, then we only take 4, go to 5. Alright, kill both of those. Go to 1. I don't really know what our out is. Thing in the Ice. Blue, Serum Visions. Yeah, I feel pretty dead. If we can cast these spells, I think we'd be alive, but instead we're dead. Tilts. So if I didn't putt the first game, I think we could have won that match. That matchup did not feel as easy as Ross made it out to be, but like even just like despite all my misplays, like it didn't feel like that matchup was necessarily easy. Why didn't you discard Phoenix? Oh, you have another looting. Okay, yeah. No, you're with it. But it didn't like. It also felt like I made a fair amount of play mistakes in that game due to inexperience. So I think that like if I were to play that matchup all over again, I think there's a much more likely chance I would have won. But that matchup also just still felt close. Like it didn't feel like that was by any means like just a like blowout one way or the other. And it it seemed like one of the draws to this deck is just dumpster those decks, and specifically the creature style decks. And we did beat up the first one, but the first one wasn't like really an established thing. Like it wasn't humans or spirits, which are probably the only two realistic like creature fair-ish decks to be playing in this format right now. But spirits like felt much harder. Like I assume my opponent was a good Magic player, like most players that play on Moto are, and the way they played seemed fine, and I think that we got maybe a little unlucky on top of me playing bad, which just led to us losing. But I think if like things had just like we by no means had the nuts, like we weren't close to just like absolutely demolishing them really at any point. So I kind of feel like that matchup was probably closer to 50-50 than I would care to admit. Where are my cyber? Oh, they're over there. Okay. But overall, my take on the deck is it feels really powerful. Like, I actually think we easily could have 5-0'd this if I didn't make mistakes against blue, white, and spirits. Maybe not easily 5-0'd, but, like, it is, like, very conceivable that we 5-0'd, that we would 5-0. And, yeah, and it felt like the changes Ross suggested weren't really just, like, true online. Like, we played against 2 creature decks after cutting a gut shot for like a Mutagenic Growth and putting more Swiftspears in our deck, like changes that are like knowingly worse against creature decks. And like we played against two creature decks, right? So the changes to the deck were just like worse than they would otherwise have been. And we also removed anger from the sideboard. Like if you notice, he no longer has an anger in the sideboard, and I think at one point in the game it would have been a very good draw to have. I don't know, just like some general observations for like Ross's list and the way this league played out. Yeah, Mutagenic did feel really medium. Like even in spots where it felt like it was supposed to be insane, it just like by no means really overperformed. But I'm not really convinced that as a whole, a lot of the spots where we drew it and it was bad, it would have been better as a gut shot. I think really, I mean, really what this deck's missing is Gitaxian Probe, right? Like if these were Gitaxian Probes, this deck would feel just absolutely off the wall. But I mean, obviously Gitaxian Probe's busted, but like it's just like painfully obvious that we're trying to play these like bad free spells in like the spot of like one that would make the deck very, very seamless and like glue it together. This card actually felt less awkward than I was ragging on it at the beginning of the video. It did feel a lot less awkward, mostly because we played against like creature decks, right? Or like if it was bad, we just discarded it to Faithless Looting. Like that lined up really nicely, basically every time. So I think I was like pretty wrong about this card. I think 2 is fine. 2 is like a fine number. I would never go higher. Going lower is probably fine. Like 1 is reasonable, but I think that the card does have a good spot in the deck. The Swiftspears were pretty generically bad, but we didn't really play against any combo. We played against creature decks and, like, I guess the control decks, like, they were okay, but they're still not even insane there. Like, the Crackling Drakes would have been better in the main deck. So, overall, my take on the deck, it did feel really powerful. It felt even more powerful, I think, than Spirits, which is what I played last week to test for Columbus. And I think that... I don't know. I'm still not so sure about this card in the sideboard. Like, we drew it against the control deck, and, like, it was kind of awkward to resolve in spots because of Colonnade and even just, like, Teferi. Just, like, slamming Teferi and, like, tucking it would have been awkward. The counterspells did feel good. The Surgicals we didn't really bring in because we never played any of those decks, which is probably good for us. So we probably actually faced okay matchups and still didn't do that well. So I'm not sold that Mutagenic's where we want to be. I'm not sold that Force Swiftspear is like necessarily that good, but I'm willing to give Swiftspear another try, more so than giving Mutagenic another try. I'm not a huge fan of the Mutagenics. I like really wanted to like them, but they were pretty low impact in most spots, and we couldn't really cut them in a lot of spots as well. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think that'll do it for Ross's version. I'm pretty medium on it. I'm definitely willing to play another league later with it to try to, like, I don't know, when I'm not streaming and, like, can just focus on playing faster and give it another try. But I think this list might still have a few problems, but it did feel pretty seamless on a lot of spots. Also, clearly, some of my hand keeps could have been bad, too. Like, there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong. So, yeah, that's just my take. The next league I'm going to play is with another iteration of Phoenix. I think getting more reps, especially after that league, like, showing how, like, uncomfortable I was sequencing some of the cards, because I just, like, don't have a lot of experience playing with cards like Gutshot and Thing in the Ice and stuff. I think I am going to hopefully get better with time. Hopefully, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable in the second league. I'll be able to play a little bit faster, interact a little bit more. With the chat for those of you here on Twitch. For those of you on YouTube, I'm sorry if it was painfully slow for you. I hope you watched it 1.5 speed. You know, just I am learning. You guys are here for the learning process. Hopefully you can cut me a little bit of slack for that. But the deck did feel good. Like, we still 3-2 despite me kind of like fumbling through it a little bit. And I don't know. I feel like there's only a few changes I would make, if any. So thank you very much for joining me. If you're joining me on YouTube, jam that subscribe button. It's an easy way to support me, let you know when I post more videos. If you're here on Twitch and you haven't followed, make sure to jam that follow button, let you know when I go live. And it's just the easiest way to support me here on Twitch. Thank you very much if you're still here from Dylan's channel. I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate, you guys being able to, like, come over from his channel and hang out with me. Like, I think I've sent some of my people over there to him, and so it's like, it's nice to kind of have a relationship with Dylan where we can kind of, our streams can kind of be a little linked together. I really like that kind of community part of Twitch. But thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.